The battlefield is desolate and dark, with countless skulls and piles of bones. A dark hand holds a blood-stained bow, in a chaotic scene filled with skulls. Some bodies hold weapons resembling staffs or spears, also covered in blood, swinging them among white bones. A person lies slumped, their luxurious clothes now dirty and torn by bloodstains. Behind someone is a large, torn wound on their back, blood soaking the white fabric. A badly injured hand still tries to grasp the handle of a sword. Beside the arm is a bright purple glowing dagger. A simple black-handled, sharp dark blade lies abandoned on the ground. Ryu Min, with his fiery red eyes, steps forward calmly and confidently, revealing no emotion. Everyone desires to live, otherwise I wouldn't have fought to get here. He looks up at the magnificent space filled with golden light, showing strong willpower. After 99 attempts, I finally got here. This time I will witness the end with my own eyes. The 20th battle, the final one, the guardian of the 20th round, is a golem, a giant enemy radiating intense light. Ryu Min is vigilant, experienced in facing powerful opponents. This place is full of such giants, seemingly protecting the door over there. He tightly grips a dark weapon, emitting a black and red aura of menace, certainly threatening the guards. Ryu Min powerfully swings his weapon at the enemy. A black and red energy beam fills the space, making it hard to dodge. The guards with sealed masks and bright golden eyes show no emotions, only following orders. They all appear at once, ready for battle with weapons in hand. A dazzling golden explosion erupts powerfully, signaling a strong attack is underway. He swings his weapon, creating deadly black energy bands, enveloping the enemy. Ryu Min, with a cold and determined expression, focuses intensely without hesitation. A red skull-shaped eye symbol appears above the enemy, causing a suppression effect. He executes a rapid close combat attack, surrounded by an aura, his gaze firm and cold. Fiery red energy slashes tear through the space, enveloping the enemy's silhouette. The attack hits the target, creating a powerful impact effect on the guard's armor. Ryu Min is in control. His face shows calmness, calculation, and confidence. If I use my deadly blow against the enemy. With a confident smile, his sharp red eyes and face display satisfaction and control, succeeding in landing a direct hit. A special skill effect in fiery red is exploding. Ryu Min stays calm and cold, treating the battle as executing parameters. Damage will increase by 100%. A giant hand, glowing intensely, makes a strong impact. He is at the center, surrounded by giant guards rushing in. Ryu Min calculates. The guards are pouring in, so then, he swings the scythe weapon, surrounded by a brilliant evil red aura, creating a fierce attack, Death Knight. The guard, in a strange form, emits radiant golden light, and the surroundings go dark. They stop suddenly, showing expressions of surprise. They won't see anything. Ryu Min moves quickly. A blinding light envelops him, red eyes clearly focused. He leaps into the air with the scythe in hand, amid a space filled with bright attacks. Ryu Min stands in a fighting stance, his sharp red eyes looking straight ahead. Unlike his previous calmness, he suddenly shows irritation and surprise. Damn it. He is overwhelmed by fiery and freezing attacks from the opponent, showing extreme pressure and overwhelmed. I haven't even caught my breath yet. Ryu Min dodges attacks from the guards. His face shows clear tension, too fast. The chaotic scene with fire and ice surrounds him. Fire and ice magic. They're attacking me with those spells. Then I will. Ryu Min, with determined fiery red eyes, actively activates a skill to respond, eyes filled with murderous intent, accelerating. He moved like the wind, so fast that his form was just a blur. Ryu Min chose a smart and agile fighting style, showing calmness, careful calculation, and adaptability as he used his speed to dodge. The Guardian unleashed a fierce fire attack. A concentrated fire energy attack formed a sharp beam aimed at him. Ryu Min had a confident, challenging smile, clearly in control, thinking it was hard to hit him. Suddenly, his expression showed shock, eyes wide with a bead of sweat on his cheek. Ryu Min soared into the air, below a shining magic circle on the floor. He was trapped inside a giant block of ice, overwhelmed by the opponent's power, thinking he couldn't dodge it. Though trapped, Ryu Min stayed calm and focused. A sharp weapon struck hard against the protective ice. The Guardian launched a direct attack at the ice where he was trapped. Ryu Min's calm expression turned cold and determined. His red eyes blazed with focus and determination to finish it, with a destructive lunar force. An explosion tore through the rocks, creating a powerful shockwave. A quick long slash cut through the Guardian standing opposite. Ryu Min stood on the rock, confidently holding his weapon, using his skills and agility to strike. After escaping danger, he remained clear-headed, relieved, thinking he almost died, and that even he would suffer great losses facing that thing directly. Ryu Min decisively changed tactics, focusing all his strength on one decisive blow, thinking that if he blocked every attack, it would never end, so he needed to finish the battle in one strike. The guardian pulled the bowstring surrounded by flames. Others summoned complex and powerful magic circles. Dark energy spread, creating red energy beams like threads, activating the destructive moon force. His face was cold and sharp, with a fierce red glow. Ryumin moved at high speed, his body wrapped in sharp red and black energy strands, a blood moon. A fierce battle erupted between them, with the Guardian raising its weapon. After the battle, he slowly descended, still holding his weapon with a sigh of relief, thinking he finally handled them all. Ryumin continued towards an old grand gate, thinking it's time to see what the Guardians are protecting. He entered alone into a vast architectural space, with sunlight streaming from a door ahead. Ryumin looked around with a cold face, curiously asking aloud, "What is this place?" The massive structure with towering stone columns and large arches looked like a temple. He wondered if he should go through the door above the stairs or if something would suddenly appear. He continued walking, thinking he should just go in to find out. A brilliant light, warm gold, symbolized the energy being activated. Ryumin stood tall in a circle of bright yellow magic, surrounded by powerful energy. He looked ahead calmly, with a slight smile, wondering if he could end this game. Sudden system notifications surprised him, stating the entrance to the boss room requires at least 5 players. The current condition was 1 of 5. Rumin's expression changed, showing worry and tension, a bead of sweat running down his cheek, thinking, "What?" A system notification confirmed 1 player reached the boss room. Without meeting entry conditions, the player would be eliminated in 5 seconds. Surrounded by energy, Ryumin was shocked and yelled, "What do you mean?" The system started counting 5. His face turned furious and filled with rage, clearly feeling it was deliberate, calling someone a jerk. 4. Ryumin was bewildered, his face full of doubt and despair, gripping his weapon tightly, thinking, "No way, it's going to end like this." 3. His hand was slowly disappearing. His face showed clear dejection. 2. Ryumin looked incredibly tense, sweat dripping down his forehead, and his red eyes full of anxiety. "Damn it. 1. You are dead. You have fulfilled the conditions to activate the time reversal rune. You will return to the moment before round 1. The number of times you have used the time reversal rune is 100 out of 100. You have used up all the remaining activations, and they will disappear automatically, starting the 100th regression." A huge crowd is gathering. It's finally time. "Everyone, when there are 5 seconds left, let's count down together." Ryumin's body is covered in mysterious blue flames. 5. He looks up, his bright blue eyes shining, sweat showing tension on his cheeks. 4. Damn it. Ryumin looks at his hands, his face showing shock. "I've gone back." His hands tremble. "I've come back just before I got caught up in this damn game." Ryumin clenches his fist in tension and anger, even though I reached the final round. 3. With a hood covering his face, he stands alone in the crowd. "If possible, 2. I'd like time to stop right now." Ryumin looks up, his gaze becoming more determined. "The number of times you reverse time is 100 out of 100. 1. Anyhow, this is the last try." He pulls the hood over his face, showing determination. "I'm going to end this game again." Ryumin looks around to observe, thinking about finding teammates to join him. To do that, I need 4 more people to reach the final round. Who would be the best to team up with? A few minutes earlier, a noisy group of young people. We finally become adults. Ha-jun excitedly turns to his friend and asks, "We don't need fake IDs anymore, right?" Tae-sik is thrilled, of course. Dong-hyun watches the two excitedly and wonders, "What should I do after graduation? Should I try delivering food?" Ha-jun points in another direction. "Hey, that girl looks like Seo Arin." Tae-sik looks over and asks, "The actress Seo Arin, where?" Dong-hyun turns to his friend next to him, "Young-min, what are you going to do?" The other two continue noisily. "How could that be Erin? Are you blind? Me?" Young-min puts his hands in his pockets, smirks, and casually answers with confidence, "Haven't I told you? I'm going to become a gangster." Ha-jun is startled, looking at him with surprise. "Are you crazy? If you do that, one mistake could get you killed." Dong-hyun also sweats, "So you're not joking?" He waves it off like it's normal. "Hey, I said screw it. You only live once, right? I just want to live the way I want." He laughs lightly, evaluating his friend. "Crazy. That insane bastard. Truly, once I graduate, I'll cut all ties with him." Dong-hyun then mentions Ryu-min. "So after graduation, what are you going to do with the errand boy?" Young-min casually asks back with contempt, "You mean that poor gloomy guy?" He laughs with hidden intent and declares, "I can't let him go just because I graduated." Tae-sik laughs and joins in. "Wow, I pity him. He probably thinks everything's over when graduation's done. Dong-hyun can't believe it. This bastard is really cruel." Young-min smirks with disdain, looking at Ryu-min as something not worth caring about. He doesn't get to decide when this ends. I have to mess with him all I can. Suddenly, Ha-jun glances to one side and wonders, "Huh, wait a sec. Isn't that your errand boy?" In a corner, Ryu-min stands among the crowd and noise. It's finally time. Everyone, when there are 5 seconds left, let's count down together. Young Min looks that way, his expression like he's found prey, excited. Yeah, that's my errand boy. 5. Ryu Min exudes a mysterious energy. 4, 3, 2. Amidst the counting, he sees Ryu Min and his face suddenly changes. Huh, that bastard. 1. Ryu Min keeps his cool face, grasping the hood of his coat. He takes the hood down, glancing strongly at Young Min without flinching. Young Min frowns, his eyes showing doubt as he sees this look. Today, something feels different. The sound of excitement rises. Happy New Year. Young Min gets annoyed with Ryu Min's stare. Is he crazy? Why is he staring at me? Tae-sik laughs, grabbing his shoulders to calm him. Young Min, it's New Year's, let it go. Ha-jun agrees. Yeah, you've got plenty of time to bully him. He cools down but still feels uneasy, grumbling to himself. You bastard, I'll let it go today. Tae-sik puts his hand on his face, showing maturity. Finally, I've become an adult too. Ha-jun pats his shoulder. Happy New Year. Young Min responds too. Yeah, all the best. Suddenly, a voice echoes from somewhere. People are foolish, celebrating New Year's without knowing how dire their situation is. Young Min startles, turning to ask, what did you just say? Tae-sik's shocked too, shaking his head. I didn't say anything. Dong-hyun looks around. What was that? I thought I heard something. Above, Biriel in white, surrounded by a bright halo, crosses her arms looking down at the unsuspecting and shocked crowd. She smiles with satisfaction and pride at what she created, feeling like she's watching monkeys in a cage. Below, everyone is in a frenzy. Damn it, is that an angel? Are the TV stations doing a New Year's event? Young Min looks up amazed. If they said it's real, I'd believe it. Tae-sik is gaping. She's so beautiful. Ryu Min also looks up with a very cold and thoughtful expression. She's appeared even after 99 times. It's still unsettling. Burial covers her mouth. A gentle yet suggestive smile. Piff. Her words resonate maliciously, making everyone's faces surprised and shocked. You pathetic humans. You all seem captivated by my beauty. But don't get any strange ideas. I have no intention of mingling with you insects. Burial laughs joyfully, her eyes cold and contemptuous. Seeing your reactions, I guess you can hear me. Sang-hun points angrily at her, shouting with a furious face. Hey, what's wrong with you? Are you dressed up as an angel or something? And what do you mean by insects? Below, there was an uproar with continuous cursing. What do you mean, you wretched woman? Ryu Min hung his head, lost in thought. It was humiliating. Burial still said nothing, just looked down with a satisfied smile as if she was preparing something. Then suddenly, her eyes glowed a fiery red, full of killing intent, showing her anger. What a bother. The head of the man who was cursing suddenly exploded, blood splattering everywhere. Ju-hoo stood nearby, his face full of fear, eyes wide, looking at his blood-stained hands. Everyone scattered frantically from the spot where the man had just fallen. Young Min frowned, frozen in disbelief at the scene in front of him. Damn it, what the hell is that? Burial pointed at the people standing below, her face full of rage and killing intent. How dare a lowly human speak to a high creature like me with that attitude? Her angry words echoed everywhere, making people terrified. You humans have no right to question me. Don't pretend you're on my level, unless you want your brains to explode like that man just now. Everyone shuddered. What is that sound? Burial hovered proudly in the sky, flaunting her power. Surely you're all confused by the current situation. How could you lowly humans possibly know what's happening? Yet she decided to explain. I will explain it simply and clearly, so listen carefully. But for someone who's heard it many times like Ryu Min, it was extremely boring to hear it once more. Burial laughed delightedly and began to explain the rules in detail. Now we will start a game. We will play 20 rounds. On the first day of each month, human souls will be sent to a new dimension to play a game. Her face was full of delight and satisfaction at her creation. That's it. Humans just have to do one thing. Burial spoke nonchalantly as if it was all perfectly normal. Complete the tasks, and if you do, you will be able to return to reality with a reward. Tae-sik was bewildered, turning to ask, what is she saying? Ha-jun explained to his friend, it seems she'll let us live if we complete some tasks. At that moment, she sneered, mentioning an important issue in this game. You might think she'll let us live for completing some tasks, but not everyone will survive just by finishing them. Burial announced firmly. Only half of the participants will be spared. His face remained cold and serious as he listened to her every word. Those standing below were filled with fear, their faces showing clear tension. No way, how could that be? She continued talking about the game with a satisfied smile. But don't worry too much, I won't take everyone there. Below became noisy with questions and angry sounds. What do you mean by that? Quiet over there. Burial set a rule, only those aged 15 to 24 must participate. Ryu Min crossed his arms and looked up with an unchanged expression, thinking silently, when I got drawn into this last year, I never thought I'd go through it 100 times. Oh, Sang expressed his joy hearing that rule. So I get to live. I will live. Ha Jun turned and cursed quietly. Damn it. He ran up to grab his collar angrily. You're happy just because you get to live? Why are you mocking us? Oh, Sang was startled, not understanding. What? Young Min angrily rushed over to stop him, his face full of tension as he loudly scolded. Stay put. Haven't you realized the situation? You didn't see the guy whose head just exploded? Burial turned around and started listing the number of players. Let's see, it seems the total number of participants will be 1,801,024,240. She reached her hand forward as if unleashing some kind of energy. Now that the explanation is over, let's start the game. Burial announced, you are now in a space where you cannot see each other. Ryu Min's face was deeply contemplative as he looked ahead coldly. She spoke up. Before transferring souls, you need to create a body. In front of him appeared a shadow of himself. Burial reminded, customize however you want. You only have one chance, so choose carefully. He looked straight ahead without hesitation. Just do it like usual. The shadow in front of him glowed, gradually changing as he chose. My alias will be. Ryu Min's figure stood solitary, quietly recalling his alias in this game, Black Sword. The space transformed into the game's setting, a vast green field under a bright blue sky. He gradually appeared in the game with a cold demeanor. Ryu Min's eyes were full of determination as he looked around at a familiar setting. Black Sword, this will be the 100th regression. He clenched his fist, moving to feel this body. I've used the same appearance, since this is the 12th trial. It feels like my own body now. Others also appeared in the game, surprised at the scene. What is this place? A plane? Huh, my body really changed. I tried using a celebrity's face. How does it look? Damn, it actually worked. Ryu Min looked around at those around him, judging. Everyone's trying to look their best again this time, but if they had a brain and thought it through, they shouldn't do that. He glanced at a girl with an attractive appearance beside him. In this world, the strong survive. Being too attractive makes you a target. If you die here, you die in the real world too. A sound pulled Ryu Min from his thoughts. Ah, well, it's almost time. He looked toward the target he had been searching for before entering the game again. There he was, Hwang Yongmin. Ryu Min smiled slightly, noting the form he chose this time. A muscular body. Burial descended from the sky, glanced over the people below and mocked them. Seeing you like this, it seems you really like this new interface of mine. I love seeing your fearful expressions. Let's see. There are a total of 1,802,910 people. That's the population of Seoul. Hearing that number, everyone was surprised. 1.8 million? It didn't seem like that many. She covered part of her face with her hand, laughing scornfully. Humans really are pathetic. Suddenly, Burial's expression changed, her face showing anger and her eyes filled with murderous intent. You think there's only this space? Humans will be divided into different planes with other angels and will go through rounds of competition. Focus on yourselves. She instructed, before we begin, I'll explain simply. First, think of the word status window in your mind. Inside Ryu Min's head, he thought, status window. He looked at the stats displayed above the status window and felt disheartened, just wanting to sigh. Burial explained with a mocking attitude, looking down on the humans below. Have you all looked at the status window yet? You'll know how worthless you are if you've played games before. Everyone listened intently, concentrating on her every word. Become stronger if you survive to the end and conquer round 20. Burial laughed excitedly. Not only will you gain freedom, but you'll also be granted a wish. Whispers and chatter erupted below. A wish? Really? No way. However, you have to be the first one to get it. She smirked and said, lastly, say inventory and look inside. I've prepared a gift for you. Young Min thought inventory in his mind and was startled by the system. Inventory. He reached his hand inside and grabbed an item, his face showing some tension. A random runestone. Burial explained, as you can see, the random runestone can only be used once. You can only use it at level 1, and it's the only item you are gifted at the start. She didn't forget to guide. You can use it by holding it in your hand and thinking use. Young Min held it and thought, use. He widened his eyes, surprised at what happened when he used the item. Burial covered her mouth and giggled, feeling very satisfied as she looked down at the crowd. Judging by your faces, you're not pleased. No matter the result, you have to accept it, as it is your fate. She snapped her fingers, signaling the game to begin. The runestone imprint is done. Let's start now, shall we? After her snap, a golden energy appeared, and Buriel gradually vanished. The system board in front of everyone beeped, displaying the rules for round 1. A giant goblin holding a sharp axe with red eyes and a long nose appeared. Everyone looked at the approaching goblin with fear, but also excitement. Is that a goblin? It feels like we're really in a virtual world game. Were we kidnapped unknowingly for an experiment? Buriel excitedly announced, it's too early to be excited. I haven't summoned all the goblins yet. Everyone's faces suddenly became more tense, revealing clear fear. Wait, all of them? There are so many. She laughed wickedly, her expression both cruel and thrilled with her creation. 10,000 humans against 50,000 goblins. Fight to the death. The goblins snarled, baring their sharp teeth, and charged at the group. Panic set in as people saw what was happening. It's coming at us. Don't come any closer. They gradually backed away, afraid of the scene before them. Right then, Ryu Min bravely stepped forward, his face unchanged, and everyone watched him in surprise. Those who saw him move forward whispered continuously, "Huh, what's with him? He's heading straight for the monster. Wait, that's dangerous." Ryu Min's bright red eyes glowed as he looked at the approaching goblins. He stood firm and delivered a decisive kick toward the goblin in front of him. Ryu Min thought to himself about the looks of surprise around him. Whether in a group or an organization, first impressions are hugely important. The main reason he decided to act like that was because he needed to leave a lasting impression on their minds. The kick he just delivered sent the goblin flying backward. It hit the ground hard, sending dust everywhere. Ryu Min picked up the goblin's weapon. To keep those pesky flies at bay, he needed to show strength. He stood tall, looking up at the sky with a cold gaze. And most importantly, Ryu Min noticed Biriel's expression. He needed to catch her attention. He twirled the weapon and thought, looks like I'll have to put some effort into this performance. Ryu Min dashed past the goblins with incredible speed, striking them accurately with a cold expression. People immediately praised his actions, saying, "That's cool. Did you see that? Who is he? Is he some kind of special forces? Black Dog? Even the nickname sounds cool." Someone suddenly wondered aloud, "Aren't goblins usually the weakest monsters in games?" Young Ho hesitantly replied, "We should be able to kill them too, even if it's not as easy as it is for Black Dog." Chung Hee confidently added, "If we fight seriously, it shouldn't be too hard." Before finishing his sentence, a goblin lunged at him. Chung Hee fell to the ground, frightened, and everyone was scared too. Young Ho's face turned pale at the sight. They scattered and ran, their faces showing fear, yelling for help. Their screams caught Ryu Min's attention as he noticed more goblins coming. Some people were attacked by the goblins and fell one by one, like an inferno. In this situation, no one would mistake this for just a game anymore. Now, they could only think of one thing. One girl's face showed pure panic, survival. Their survival instincts kicked in strongly, taking over their minds, and they ran for their lives. Ryu Min looked at the fleeing group, thinking, I once chose that method my first time too. It was only after the second time that he realized running away in such an open place is impossible. A girl, while fleeing, bumped into something like a barrier. Frightened, she touched all around, asking, "What is this?" For those who lived in modern times, never having harmed an animal, they would find it very hard to kill a goblin, but to survive in this game. The goblin's red eyes glared at him, full of killing intent. With bumps on its skin, it charged at the one holding a weapon, meaning they had to overcome that fear. Everyone fled with screams, begging for help. Burial watched eagerly from above, finding the battle between humans and goblins exciting. She laughed with excitement. Even though they're only child-sized without any resistance, they can easily take you down bare-handed, let alone with daggers. With a sharp gaze, Biriel remarked, however. She turned her eyes to Ryu Min, wondering, what on earth is that human? The system showed, Black Dog, quest progress. Goblins defeated 70 out of 100. She thought. Black Dog, huh? Biriel scrolled through the system in frustration. Damn system. Aside from quest progress, all player information is hidden. Still, she was undeterred, eagerly watching the scene below. Well, whatever. Having to guide these inferior humans wounds my pride. But it seems there are a few interesting ones, so I'll stick around to enjoy it a bit longer. Ryu Min continued slashing at the goblins. The system announced, you have defeated a goblin. You have leveled up. Task progress. Goblins defeated 75 out of 100. Necessary activity to complete task. Goblins defeated 25 out of 100. A group of goblins charged fiercely toward him. Ryu Min used his speed to attack them all in one go. After attacking, he spun his weapon in style. Another goblin ran towards Ryu Min. He quickly struck it down. Ryu Min's eyes lit up. His face was cold. Any more? The goblins behind hesitated after witnessing his attack. Ryu Min wiped the sweat off his face and sighed. Looks like I can take a break now. The system displayed a notification about increased stats. Ryu Min checked it and realized he had already reached level 4. He thought, every level up gives me 2 more stat points. I'll put them all into agility. Ryu Min's eyes turned cold. Besides increasing dodge rate, agility also boosts attack speed and movement speed. In the game's early stages, agility is the most important stat. He confidently held his weapon. At this pace, I might have caught the angel's attention. Let's finish this. Ryu Min threw the blade towards a distant goblin. He shouted at them, come on. The goblins heard Ryu Min and froze. He sighed. Scared? Ryu Min moved like the wind toward the goblins. Fine, I'll come to you. They let out a loud cry, eyes glowing red, unable to turn in time. He took them all down in one attack. Energy surrounded Ryu Min as he leveled up. Goblin Hunt, 100 out of 100. First round complete. His face was cold and focused. Round 1 is done. After taking down these goblins, I'm sure I've caught the angel's attention. The system kept notifying, congratulations on completing the first task in this area. Congratulations on completing the first task in all areas. Ryu Min smirked confidently. I've reached rank 1. The system stated, higher completion ranks mean better rewards. The top 3 get the best rewards. Congratulations on finishing the first task in this area. You will receive a weapon of choice, a reward specific to this area and overall, and a treasure chest as a reward for being the first in all areas. My rewards are probably the best compared to everyone else. First, choose a weapon from the area reward. A system screen showed available weapons. You can pick one of these. Ryu Min thought, even though it's not much, it's good to have gotten this early. He quickly selected an item. The system notified, you've received a short sword. Short sword. Ryu Min decisively tossed the old knife to the ground. Time to get rid of this junk. He thought, I'll hold on to the special reward chest for now. In his mind, Ryu Min thought status window. He pondered something, thinking back. The title he received before, I've never seen this in my previous 99 regressions. Ryu Min held the stone in his hand and used it. A notification appeared. The stone cracked. You've used a random rune shard. Congratulations, you received the time reversal rune. The rune is automatically inscribed on the player's body. The rune mark appeared in his soul, but the special attribute of the rune made the inscription fail. Ryu Min thought, of course, if I could inscribe again, I could regress endlessly. With the rune trace in his soul, you've been recognized as a time traveler with 100 travels. He received the title of Last Time Traveler. His eyes widened with surprise. What? In this game, titles are more prestigious than runes. They're much stronger and rarer. Moreover, resurrection is a skill exclusive to priests, and even then it restores only 30% of max HP after reviving. Ryu Min smiled with satisfaction. And this title lets me resurrect at full health? Looks like I've got an incredible title. Ryu Min touched his chin. A look of delight appeared on his face. He had just gained something great. He tapped the screen and thought, having this card in hand is always good. A notification appeared. Title, Time Traveler, Last Voyage. The title won't show under ID when in private mode, but the effects remain. Ryu Min stretched lightly, pondering. Probably everyone else had finished their mission too. He wondered how Yong Min was doing. Soon after, he glanced to the side, spotting him. Ryu Min gave a slight smile. It seemed he had survived. Then, streams of yellow light appeared. Burial propped her chin on one hand, looking down and muttered, no wonder it gets more boring each day. She looked at those holding their friends' bodies mockingly. Poor humans. You'll be gradually wiped out to match the remaining goblins. Sorry, it's my fault. Next, Burial spread her angel wings wide, stirring things up again. Su Jung held her friend's body, tears streaming as she looked up, upset. She was startled, seeing the body and her arms starting to disappear. The group looked at the bodies around them, shocked, and shouted, the bodies are vanishing. What's happening? Opposite, a yellow light appeared, bringing another horde of goblins. Their red eyes gleamed as they charged forward with a roar. The survivors saw this, clenched their teeth in anger, cursing. Burial touched her face, smiling maliciously. I've given you another 50,000 lives. Surely you have enough power to kill now, right? Su Jung's group could only grab their weapons and charge forward, shouting to kill. Ha Jun closed his eyes tightly and stabbed the goblin in front of him. At the same time, another goblin dived from above, aiming at his back. Someone else raised both hands to block the goblin's knife attack from falling down. Yongmin gritted his teeth and pulled the person next to him to block the goblin's attack for him. Elsewhere, Young Ho had a fierce expression, tightening his grip around a goblin's neck. Ryu Min sat inside the circle of yellow light, silent. Hyon slapped his bloody hand on the yellow protective shield. He looked down as a goblin raised its sword to end another player's life. Burial clasped her hands together, watching the slaughter below with great interest. Ryu Min, with a calm face, looked up at her. Just when the notification screen appeared, beams of light flashed and all the goblins vanished simultaneously. The players looked around in confusion, asking where the goblins went. Burial looked up at the reminder screen, saying only half completed their task. It's done now. From above, she looked down at everyone. The others will have to die. After all, it's the rules. Su Jung shouted in panic. What's happening? Chung Hee screamed out as their bodies slowly disappeared. Dead. A man tremblingly raised a finger. Wait, Angel, I just needed to kill one more, please. With a scream, that person's figure disappeared. No. Burial's voice kept echoing. Why look so down? Shouldn't you be happy to be alive? Don't worry. You've survived. You can return now. She covered her mouth, sneering. Congratulations on surviving the first round. Hope you try harder next time. Burial continued. Let's announce the ranks before leaving. The system screen popped up. Black Claws ranked first across the whole area and current area. Rewards, rank reward. Lowest tier rare weapon. Voucher has been granted. Special reward selection chest has been granted. Mission completion reward 1,000 gold coins pending. You'll receive it in a few minutes. Ryu Min stood still, looking at the notification in front of him. You received 1,000 gold coins for completing the mission. Congratulations, you can use the gold at the shop. Equipment purchase feature unlocks at level 10. He turned his head back, glancing at the amazed faces of others. Ryu Min pursed his lips slightly, thinking to himself, everyone must know I ranked first. Burial rested her chin on one hand and asked with a smile, I can't believe the #1 spot in the entire area is on my turf. It's hard to believe, right? Tell me, isn't that true? Ryu Min looked up and replied, please, go ahead. She smiled and asked, how are you so strong? Did you get some special ancient script or something? Inside, Burial bit her lip and cursed silently. Damn it. Ryu Min calmly continued. You can just look at my status window and see. Burial's voice filled with hesitation. Well then. She raised both hands and said, of course I can. I'm an angel, so I surely have access to that information. I was just testing you. Hearing that, Ryu Min smiled slightly to himself and thought, stop trying to make me laugh. Then he softly called out, Angel, and Burial quickly asked back, what's that? Ryu Min's next words startled her. May I make a request? Burial stared at him and repeated, a request? Ryu Min crossed his arms and looked directly at her suspiciously. Yes, it seems the reward for the first place could be better. Young Min was surprised and turned to look at him. The other players widened their eyes and looked over too. Burial's eyes shone as her lips curled with each word. What did you just say? Ryu Min, without fear, answered, I hope you can give me something better. She bowed her head and laughed. Say it again. He stared at Burial and said, I don't like my reward, so I want you to give me a better one. She looked at Ryu Min silently without saying a word. Shortly after, Burial bit her lip, laughed coldly, and thought to herself, this ordinary human dares to make demands of me? I noticed him because he was energetic at the start, but now, after defeating a few goblins, he looks down on me? She raised one hand and decided, I'll blow your head off. Burial clenched her fist tight in anger and muttered, you arrogant human, I've already killed with a one-time use power. Do you think I don't know about you? Suddenly, she widened her eyes at a thought. Wait a minute. Burial immediately switched to a gentle smile and mumbled, yes, I know what to give him. She looked at Ryu Min standing in the circle and asked, do you want a better reward? Burial gracefully touched down on the ground and said, I usually refuse such requests right away, but... She glanced at him and shouted, I changed my mind. Let's talk privately. The others can wait a moment. The people around immediately buzzed. Is she really going to agree? Can't believe he's bargaining with an angel. Should I try too? I also want a different reward. It's probably just because he ranked first. The chatter didn't stop. If I'm being sent away like this, the reward must be that valuable. So jealous. Suddenly, Ryu Min paused and glanced back. Young Min sensed the look and raised an eyebrow to him. Then, without turning back, Ryu Min calmly walked away. He followed Burial into the forest. She turned, asking, why not walk next to me instead of making me turn around all the time? Walk beside me. Ryu Min was startled and replied, yes. Burial furrowed her brows tightly and thought to herself, stupid humans, they need orders to obey, a species that's not obedient but too greedy. She turned back to look ahead. Besides, why should I change what the system gives him? Even if I could, he can't be the only exception. Burial, full of excitement, glanced behind and thought, he should take what he's given. I'll show him what happens when you're greedy. She looked at the rock under the tree and thought, I'll kill him the moment he crosses that rock. Burial kept thinking, of course there could be trouble. If I kill a player out of personal spite without using a one-time power, and later players complain about unfairness and revolt, those with authority will hold me responsible because my actions disrupted the game. She took a step closer to the rock, thinking, so, I need a place where there's no one. Burial's lips curled to reveal sharp teeth. Stupid fool. If you kept your mouth shut, no one would know what happened. Then she pretended to be gentle, turned back and asked him, you want the reward, right? Tell me, what do you want? As soon as Burial finished speaking, Ryu Min's fist was right in front of her face. His punch landed hard, making her face twist to the side. Burial lost her balance and fell backward. Her eyes widened in disbelief as she fell. Burial, with one swollen cheek, screamed and fell down. Ryu Min stood still, watching her cry out in pain and fall to the ground. Burial touched the golden blood on her face. What was this? Did that wretched human just hit her? Then she gritted her teeth and growled, damn human. Biriel was startled when she noticed Ryu Min had vanished. She looked around, confused, not knowing he had approached from behind. Ryu Min reached out and firmly grabbed Biriel's wing. Only then did she startle and turn her head to look back. Biriel, with her wings seized, shouted, "Wait, what are you doing? Stop." Ryu Min pulled on the feathers of her wing, making her scream loudly. Her eyes went white as she felt the feathers continuously fall. He calmly broke one of her wings and threw it back. Ryu Min looked down from above and gently advised, "Don't be such a crybaby." He then stepped on Biriel's shoulder with one foot and firmly gripped her remaining wing. Ryu Min pulled her wing back, saying, "Now you can't escape." He looked down at her and asked, "How does it feel? Does it hurt?" Biriel shook and growled. "Of course it hurts." Rumin smiled and said, "If I waited 5 more minutes, you'd be the one asking me that stupid question and laughing that ridiculous laugh." Biriel yelled frantically, "Are you crazy, human? What are you saying?" He lifted a wing containing a knife and questioned, "Were you planning to use this hidden knife to kill me?" Then, he casually tossed it aside. "I knew it," and she shouted, "What do you mean kill?" Biriel quickly defended herself. "I never planned to do that." He smiled, cutting her off. "Lying won't help. Just looking at your face, I know everything, Biriel." Startled, she looked up. "How does a human know my name?" Ryu Min retrieved a weapon from his system. "It doesn't matter whether you know or not." Biriel yelled in fear. "What are you doing? Why pull out a weapon all of a sudden?" He examined the knife in his hand. "Don't you get it yet?" She pointed at him and shouted, "You want your head to explode so badly you've gone insane? I only need a finger." He mocked her calmly. "You don't have the ability to kill anyone anymore." Hearing this, Biriel could only grit her teeth in anger. She could only threaten him loudly. "Do you think you can escape punishment? My companions won't sit still." And Ryu Min raised the knife mockingly. "Companions? Angels are all selfish. They don't care about others' issues. Whether you die or not, they won't bother." Biriel shouted, "Nonsense." He walked forward with the knife. "Enough, let me send you off." She backed away saying, "Wait, you gain nothing from this." And Ryu Min replied without care, "Yes, I do, but you wouldn't know." Biriel threatened, "If you kill me, you'll regret it. You can't return." He pointed out, "This system will send me back automatically after settling things." She couldn't believe it. "How do you know that?" Biriel's pleading voice sounded, "All right, I'll give you any information you want. Just give me a chance." Ryu Min lifted the knife coldly. "No need." Calmly, he continued, "If I needed information, I'd torture you to extract everything I wanted. In this game environment, you must stick with your kind. Besides, the truth is you're just a pawn playing guide." She stood there dumbfounded. "What?" Before he could finish speaking, the knife in Ryu Min's hand pierced Biriel's chest. He drove it through her chest, making yellow blood splatter. Ryu Min stood straight, looking at Biriel's body lying motionless on the ground. Then, a notification sounded, "You have defeated an angel. Confirmed as the first player to defeat an angel. You are awarded the title of the first angel killer, Angel's Blood, and First Angel Kill." He looked at the reward in his hand and thought, "As expected, I'm the first this time." The system sound continued, "Awarded Carnage Rune for the first angel kill." The notification continued. "The acquired rune is automatically imprinted on the player's body." The reminder sound kept ringing. "These current rewards are for the first player to kill an angel. Title, First Angel Killer. Condition, be the first to kill an angel. Effect, doubles all stats in battles against divine beings." Ryumin looked at the system screen and thought, "I first learned about this reward when avenging an angel on the 13th time. It's probably because it's a reward limited to one player only. Each reward can be compared to a unique item." The screen showed Carnage Rune Effect. Increases all stats by 1% with each kill, up to 100%, lasting until the related round ends. He stared at the screen, thinking, if the angels find out I've obtained a rune, they'll be so surprised. Ryu Min glanced to one side. He looked at the small bottle in his hand, the main reason he killed an angel. The status screen came up. Snow Angel, consumable item, unique rank effect, can change your profession to Grim Reaper, requires level 10 or higher. Description, reward item for the first player to kill an angel. Only the first player to kill an angel can change their profession to the Grim Reaper, the nemesis of angels. Rumin quickly sank into thought. Starting from level 10, all players can have a profession, with a total of 30 different professions, and changing a profession is easy. He thought about those items. You have to acquire a profession-changing item, usually earned through hunting or completing some simple condition. Rumin stared at the bottle of angel blood. But there are exceptions, like when changing to a special profession, which is only granted under special circumstances. He understood in his heart, and of course, these special professions are on a completely different level compared to normal ones, with higher added stats, bonus levels, skill systems, and so on, all nearly perfect. Ru Min reached out to touch the system screen, thinking I returned without completing the first round. Then he silently decided, I'll use the reward I earned for being first in all areas. The screen displayed a reminder. You can choose from the rewards below. Ryu-min focused on it, thinking, the important thing now is to quickly reach level 10 and change professions. As soon as he made a choice, the system sounded, you chose a triple experience effect, and the effect is automatically applied for round 2. Ryu-min looked at Burial's body beside him. This is the last time, so I have no other choice. He watched her quickly disappear. Determined, no matter what, I have to become stronger. Right after that, the system screen showed. Round 1 ended. Souls will be transferred to their bodies in the current dimension. February 1st, 2023, round 2 is starting. We will see you in the next round. Congratulations on surviving. Elsewhere, Youngmin shouted and jumped up. He looked around at the people and the sound of a bell. This is the New Year bell. Youngmin looked ahead with confusion. What's happening here? He looked ahead, confused. Is everyone collapsing like me? The people around held their heads in disgust. I just fainted. I dreamt a super realistic dream. My head feels like it's going to explode. Youngmin couldn't help but exclaim. That dream I just had was bizarre. He checked the time on his phone. 5:20 a.m. Did time pass here while I lived in my dream? Ha Jun held his head and cried out. Oh my head. Dong Hyun also frowned and muttered, my limbs are so sore. He looked over and asked, are you guys awake? Ha Jun looked over, puzzled. Youngmin, did I just pass out? Youngmin calmly replied, it's not just you. Everyone here did. He was startled and asked, huh? Did we fall asleep for a bit? Dong Hyun also chimed in. What's going on? I was just about to say I had a really strange dream. Ha-jun confirmed, me too. Young-min, did you dream too? He looked behind and answered yes, but Young-min looked at the people and said, I don't think that was just a dream. The people behind held their heads in disgust. Are we back from that hell? I'm still alive. How? But surely a sprite has my head. A sudden excited voice rang out. So all that was real? The sprites and round 1? All of it? Someone asked, will we be transported back there again early next month? A loud shout rang out, damn it. Young Min kicked a guy nearby. Hey, why isn't this guy waking up? Dong Hyun also looked over. I'm wondering the same thing. Ha-jun immediately called out, hey Kim Taeshik, wake up. He reached out to shake him, hey, wake up. When he turned him over, Taeshik's face was pale. Ha-jun brought his hand closer and mumbled, it can't be. His hand trembled as he touched Taeshik's forehead. Ha-jun screamed, damn it, he's not breathing, I can't feel his pulse either. Yongmin shouted in shock, is Taeshik dead? Ha-jun's face turned pale as he shouted. Could it be he died because he didn't survive the game? Donghyun gritted his teeth and said, how is that possible? He turned to look behind. So, everyone who's not waking up here. Dong-hyun looked around at the bodies and added, they're all just corpses now? Youngmin was in shock and thought to himself that if everyone was born at the same level, then we must all live as equals now. No more crying about life's unfairness. He turned to Ha-jun and shouted, calm down, you fools. We just need to survive. Why the panic? It's not fair to die without a chance to try. Yongmin's voice rang out again. It's not just us. Everyone's caught up in this. What's there to cry about unfairness? The others looked at him angrily, calling him crazy. Dong-hyun closed his eyes and turned away. Damn it, you lived like a thug all your life, so of course you wouldn't lose anything dying here. I'm different. I have things I want to do. He saw Young-min looking around and asked, what are you searching for? Young-min replied calmly, I don't see that damn guy anywhere. Dong-hyun demanded, who? Your errand boy? In Young-min's mind, he remembered Ryu-min and thought, where is that bastard? I'm sure I saw him that way before passing out. Did he not survive the first round and die somewhere? Then he closed his eyes and thought, probably. How could a weakling like him survive? Suddenly, Young-min glanced in one direction. He was puzzled to see someone nearby wearing armor. Young-min silently observed him. What's wrong with him? And where did he get all that armor and gear? No way. He clenched his lips tightly and thought, status window. Young-min was startled when a screen appeared in front of him. He was shocked and shouted, a status window really appeared. Dong-hyun was also shocked and exclaimed, a status bar? Ha-jun yelled loudly, no way something like that could happen. Really? Young-min turned and asked, why are you staring into space? The man responded, aren't you doing the same? It must appear only for each individual. The chatter continued. Can't this be applied in reality too? So we can use stats and items? Then Young-min bent down and picked up a stone from the ground. He gently squeezed the stone, shattering it into pieces. Young-min looked at the dust in his hand and stood frozen in place. After a moment, he smiled widely and shouted, this is amazing. On TV, Min Seo was reporting live. Today, early in the morning, something unbelievable happened. At Jongro Square, before the New Year bell, more than 10,000 people suddenly lost consciousness. Now, We'll take you to the scene. Her voice continued. An unidentified woman dressed as an angel appeared near the New Year bell and spoke to the people below. The screen replayed the scene, and shortly after, a mysterious explosion happened when someone pointed at the woman and said something, resulting in that person's immediate death. Min Seo looked at Birial on the screen and added. Then the woman spread her arms toward the crowd. Her voice narrated, causing over 10,000 people to suddenly faint. The TV kept broadcasting. According to police reports, most of those affected were aged 15 to 29. This phenomenon isn't limited to our country but is global. Ryu Min's hand gently scrolled through online comments. He looked closely at his phone and thought, it has started already. Ryu Min looked up at the live broadcast screen and thought, and this is just the beginning. The announcement continued. By 5:20 a.m. today, about half of the unconscious have regained consciousness, while the rest remain in a vegetative state at the incident site. They're all diagnosed as clinically dead. Celebrity A was found dead at the square. It's the first time over 11% of the population has perished in a crisis. Ryu Min grasped his jacket tightly and thought, while the death news keeps coming in, the real issue lies elsewhere. He seriously looked at the screen. The survivors are now called players, and the investigation continues. The real issue is the powers the players have now appeared in the real world. Ryu Min didn't move while thinking. No player has a truly high stat yet, so no big impact, but as players level up. He thought back to his past life. They'll become powerful entities. No modern weapon or army could suppress such players. Weapons that are humans themselves, uncontrollable, will be born. Ryu Min put his hands in his coat pockets and walked away quickly. But I won't just watch the world fall into chaos. If things stay like this, the world might crumble before the 20th round. There's only one solution. He looked ahead seriously. I need to control all players with a power that surpasses everything. Ryu Min thought about that time travel event. I'll have to use different methods from past regressions. The screen reminded him, to enter the boss room, you need at least 5 players. He calculated mentally, I have some potential people in mind and ways to recruit them. Ryu Min walked quickly away. But now isn't the time to act hastily. There are more important things to do. A while later, he stood in front of his house. Ryu Min opened the door and went inside. Suddenly, he stopped and turned his head to the side. Ryu Min saw the empty cup on the counter and thought, that rascal, he had cup noodles for dinner again. He reached out and opened the bedroom door, looking inside. Ryu Min stood still, watching Ryu Won sleep soundly on the bed. He stared at him and smiled slightly. How can he sleep well while his brother isn't home yet? Ryu Min watched his sleeping form and thought, Ryu Won is my younger brother. Next year, he'll be a third-year high school student. He looked at the photos on the table. There's nothing special about my home. However, my parents passed away in a car accident. Just like that, many things changed overnight. One of the most notable changes is, Ryu Min looked at the scar on his hand, contemplating becoming the sole guardian of Won. He gently pressed the open bandage down. Ryu Min stood still, staring at Ryu Won on the bed. The next morning, he groaned and opened his eyes. Ryu Min looked at him and said, time to get up, Won. He immediately sat up, exclaiming, brother. He spoke calmly. It's morning. Ryu Won rubbed his eyes and looked at the phone screen, shouting, what? It's only 6 a.m., brother. Right after that, he was startled as Ryu Min pulled the blanket off him. He started packing and said, we don't have time to keep sleeping. Ryu Won panicked and asked, why? What's going on? Ryu Min replied calmly, I'll explain later. So change your clothes and we'll be on our way. He yawned and exclaimed, where are we going, brother? If you're saying we're going to watch the sunrise, I'd rather sleep in. Ryu Won was taken aback when he heard Ryu Min say sternly, listen to your brother. His face turned serious as he reminded him, now's not the time to relax or sleep. The world is in chaos. Ryu Won sat on the bed, bewildered, and asked, didn't you say we were going to the New Year celebration? What's happened? Ryu Min quickly left the room saying, just come with me, and I'll tell you on the way. After a while, he quietly followed behind Ryu Min, leaving. Ryu Won's face was full of worry as he silently watched his brother's expression. He used his eyes to carefully observe Ryu Min, deep in thought. For him to be this serious, I wonder what's happened. Then he asked, Won, you don't know the current global state, do you? Ryu Won immediately asked, why do you say that? You're scaring me. Did something happen while I was asleep? Ryu Min still didn't turn around as he reminded him. Check the top searches. Hearing that, he took out his phone and quickly searched. Ryu Won was shocked and asked, what does this mean? An angel suddenly appeared and kidnapped people to another world. Ryu Min closed his eyes and interrupted. More precisely, their souls were taken. Worried, he asked, no way, even you? Ryu Min's calm voice replied, yes, I could only return alive after hunting 100 monsters called goblins. Ryu Won ran up and asked with concern, what? Is that true? Were you hurt anywhere? Ryu Min glanced over and reassured, don't worry about me. He shouted in distress, How can I not worry at all? Ryu-won remembered the photos of their parents and thought, so this is family. He thought of Ryu-min standing tall back then. You're the only one I have left now. Ryu-won wiped away his tears and looked at him carefully. He looked at Ryu-min's back and thought, of course I know, to fill the void Mom and Dad left. Back to the present, Ryu-won looked at his brother's back in front of him. He needs to maintain strong mental fortitude. He stared at Ryu-min with concern. But having a strong mindset and killing 100 monsters are two different things. Surely he must have a weak side too. Suddenly, he laughed and called out, I know what you're thinking. Ryu-min turned his head and explained, over there they have a system like game stats, so my physical skills aren't too important, so there's no need to worry. Ryu-won hesitated. If so, but... He closed his eyes and walked forward quickly. If you see me in the future, you might not think the same way. He followed curiously, what do you mean? Ryu-min urged, if you want to know, just follow me already. Suddenly, Ryu-won shouted toward him, I won't go until you tell me where we're going. I won't take another step. He clutched his chest, pleading. So please tell me. Ryu-min's eyes immediately noticed the wound on the back of Ryu-won's hand. He immediately lowered his head and looked down at the ground. After a long moment, Ryu-won was startled when he heard Ryu-min mention the Taegyu gang. He turned his head towards him and said, we will go to the Taegyu gang's headquarters, where the thug who bullied you is. Ryu-min turned to look back and shouted, we're going to the hideout of the Taegyus gang, the lair of the ones bullying you. He calmly asked, is the Taegyus gang threatening you? Ryu-won was startled and exclaimed, brother, how did you? Worried, he asked, did you find out everything already? Ryu-min calmly asked back, why did you think I didn't know? Ryu-won's face turned dark as he gritted his teeth silently, thinking he didn't want his brother to know because he had already faced difficult times. Seeing him like that, he quietly whispered, I'm sorry. Ryu-min lowered his head and thought, the truth is, I really didn't know. He remembered back to that time. I only found out the truth a few hours after returning from round 1. Ryu-won, in his uniform, turned and left, saying, brother, I'm going out for a bit. Ryu-min recalled that day. My brother? Where did he go on that day? After a long time, he reached for the phone that wouldn't stop ringing. It's so noisy. Ryu-min squinted and answered, hello? The other end immediately asked, hello, is this the guardian of student Ryu-won? He stood frozen in place when they said, you need to come to XX hospital right away. Ryu-min panicked and rushed out of the house to search. He frantically looked towards Ryu-won and thought, he went blind after the Taegyus gang beat him up, because I was stupid and weak. Ryu-min clenched his fist tightly and thought, I couldn't protect my brother. I'm sorry, Won. Back to reality, he looked at Ryu-won and made a silent vow. No one will bully you again. No one. Inside the Taegyus gang building, a loud noise echoed. Someone lifted a foot and kicked a nearby male student hard. The Taegyus leader shouted at the people in front of him. Do you want to die? Didn't I tell each of you to bring 200,000 won? He looked at the male student bowing his head and yelled loudly, not answering? You dare to ignore me? Then, the Taegyus leader lifted his foot and stomped down hard. Jimin, standing next to him, exclaimed, that's the Taegyus leader. Jaein added, he's cruel even to his subordinates. Jimin frowned and added, even seniors from other schools don't want to mess with him. Chin-hae, with his arms crossed, yelled, no matter what, I don't want to stand against him. The Taegyus leader walked towards them, cursing, I was planning to buy a car today, but these useless people can't get me anything. He looked at the three and shouted, hey, do you know where to get some money? Jae-in was startled, stammering, where to get money? The Taegyus leader saw the three thinking and urged impatiently, think faster. Then, Chin-hae suddenly exclaimed. He held up a finger and asked, there's a guy, your errand boy, Taegyu, the tall one with short hair. Why don't you call him? The leader smirked and said, Ryu-won? That guy? I was planning to call him today. I plan to beat him up to celebrate the new year. Chin-hae laughed and said, then we can get money from him. Jae-in next to him also shouted, sounds good. The Taegyus leader, hands in his pockets, said, hey, that guy actually doesn't have a home. Chin-hae was startled and yelled, what? The leader looked over with disdain. He can't bring out any money, even if I kill him. He has nothing at home. He raised an eyebrow and asked again, really? The Taegyus leader's voice continued, and that guy doesn't have any relatives. The leader calmly added, he lives with his older brother. Chin-hae saw him pause and wondered, what's wrong? Taegyu. Jae-in also turned to look, what's up? The two Ryu brothers stood still at the door, looking at the crowd. The Taegyus leader let out a surprised shout, and the others began to murmur, isn't that Ryu-won? You startled me? He sneered and walked quickly towards them. Speaking of Cao Cao, no, you're not Cao Cao, you're just a dog. The Taegyus leader's face twisted with anger, shouting madly, Ryu-won, you bastard. Ryu-won, terrified, grabbed Ryu Min's sleeve, and stammered, "What?" Suddenly, the guy paused, thinking, "Who is that kid? His face is really annoying me." Then, the Taegyu gang loudly questioned, "Hey, who's that punk next to you? Did you bring another errand boy because you're lonely?" He looked over in surprise. "It's him." Ryu Min coldly laughed and introduced himself. "I'm One's brother." The guy asked skeptically, "Brother?" The Taegyu gang member cracked his knuckles loudly. "Look at this punk. Didn't I tell you to keep your mouth shut? And now you're defying me? You're dead today, and so is your brother." Then, he turned his head and shouted loudly, "Hey!" Chin-hei rolled up his sleeves and stepped forward. The sun must be rising in the west now. Even an errand boy dares to stand against Taegyu. Jae-in put his hands on his hips and asked, "Hey, One, is your brother good at fighting?" He walked up to Ryu Min, raised his hand to compare height, and asked, "Punk, want to run yet?" Ryu Min didn't say much and punched Jae-in straight in the face. He cried out and then fell to the ground. Jimin immediately raised his fist and charged at him. "You bastard." Ryu Min sidestepped to avoid his punch. Then, he countered with a punch straight to Jimin's face. His whole body was sent flying back into a pile of stuff in the distance. Jae-in raised his fist and charged, "You punk. How dare you?" Chin-hei also lunged towards Ryu Min, die. He quickly landed a fist in the middle of each of their faces. The Taegyu gang member trembled as he looked at the three of them groaning on the ground. He gritted his teeth, cursing inwardly, "Trash." Bang Taegyu's face turned fierce, thinking, "Looks like he learned boxing somewhere. But you think you can fight me with just a little skill like that?" He put his hands in his pockets and stepped forward. "One's brother, it seems you think you're tough just because you know a bit of martial arts?" Standing in front of Ryu Min, looking down on him. "But haven't you learned that physical fitness is very important in boxing?" Ryu Min smirked and asked back, "Haven't you watched the news?" Surprised, he asked, "What news?" Seeing Ryu Min ignoring him, Bang Taegyu raised his fist to strike. "What news, you bastard?" Ryu Min lightly tilted his head to dodge the punch. He leaned away quickly, dodging all of Bang Taegyu's continuous attacks, slippery like an eel, damn it. Finally, the gang member looked at him, panting heavily as his figure blurred ahead. Something's off. Bang Taegyu clenched his teeth in frustration. "Why can't I hit him?" Ryu Min lowered his head, gathering blue energy in his fist, if you'd seen the news. He raised his fist and punched Bang Taegyu square in the face. "You'd never dare challenge a player like me again." Ryu Min punched Taegyu in the face, sending him flying backward. Taegyu fell back a great distance. Then, Taegyu shouted angrily, throwing a punch straight at him, "You bastard!" As Taegyu rushed forward, he was shocked when Ryu Min seemed to vanish. "Where did you go?" Taegyu glanced behind him and shouted, "No way." Instantly, Ryu Min landed a strong punch to Taegyu's face. Taegyu clutched his face in anger, yelling, "You dare hit me?" Taegyu looked confused at the tooth in his hand. With a fierce expression, he screamed, "I'm going to kill you." Taegyu punched again, but Ryu Min dodged, saying, "Die." Ryu Min caught Taegyu's incoming fist. Then, Ryu Min didn't stop punching Taegyu's face. The people who had been hit earlier looked confused as Taegyu couldn't stop groaning. With a swollen face, Taegyu thought angrily, "Damn it, he keeps aiming for my face." He turned his head to see Ryu Min standing behind him, thinking, "If I can just land one hit." Taegyu charged at him with his fist, saying, "Just one punch." He gritted his teeth as he punched, but Ryu Min jumped high to dodge. "Please?" Ryu Min kicked Taegyu hard in the neck. Taegyu flew backward, crashing against the wall. With his hands in his pockets, Ryu Min watched Taegyu trembling in pain. Bang Taegyu. With a cold face, he asked, "Does it hurt, you bastard?" Ryu Min remembered when Ryu Won went blind and thought, even if revived many times, "I'll never forget that feeling." He glanced ahead to make sure that hell would not repeat, while Taegyu braced himself and shouted, "Don't come any closer!" Holding his neck in panic, Taegyu yelled, "Stop it!" Taegyu was confused seeing Ryu Min grasping his own hand. Ryu Min gave a chilling smile, explaining, "That's why you shouldn't mess with my brother." Amid a loud noise, Taegyu froze, screaming. Clutching his twisted hand, Taegyu cried out. Then, Ryu Min grabbed Taegyu's hand, bending it backward. Cold sweat poured down Taegyu's face as he exclaimed, "No, it hurts so much." Upon hearing Taegyu's cries, Chin-hei's group quickly ran away. "Let's get out of here fast." Ryu Won closed his eyes and turned away as he heard Taegyu's painful screams. Meanwhile, Ryu Min looked down menacingly and said, "Bang Taegyu, if you ever touch my brother again, do you know what will happen?" Taegyu lowered his head, trembling. I know I won't do it again." Ryu Min smiled, saying, "That's right, but still." He grabbed Taegyu's hand, stating, "I'll teach you a lesson, just in case you try again." Taegyu, full of fear, pleaded, "No, please don't." Right after, the building echoed with agonizing screams. A long time later, Ryu Won followed behind Ryu Min, hesitantly saying, "Brother?" With hands together, he asked, How could you do that? When did you learn martial arts? Ryu Min turned, asking, didn't you notice? Players can use skills in real life too. Ryu Won was shocked. How? With a bright smile, Ryu Min raised his hand and summoned a skill, saying, like this. Ryu Won saw the knife in his hand and was startled. His eyes lit up as he pointed at it, exclaiming that a knife appeared out of nowhere. Ryu Min laughed and asked if it was cool. You can also summon weapons like this, he said. Ryu Won couldn't help but ask repeatedly. So, earlier when you moved so quickly, was that the same thing? That guy didn't hit you once. Ryu Min immediately confirmed, yes, my agility stat is 11. Ryu Won quickly asked, stat? You mean like in a game? Yeah, Ryu Min lifted one hand to explain, a normal person has 3 points. An athlete can reach up to 10 agility points. Ryu Won followed behind him and asked, what happens when you level up? Ryu Min raised both hands. How would I know? I haven't reached that point yet. He kept a calm face and thought to himself, I have to lie. Ryu Min recalled the scene from before. I didn't mean to reveal that I'm a returner. In the 11th regression, one got kidnapped by another player. He looked down and thought deeply. Even though I got revenge, I don't want him to be humiliated because of me. Ryu Min turned to look at Ryu Won. I have to be ready to protect him in the upcoming battles. I must. He asked out loud, wanna go eat? You're hungry, right? Ryu Won confirmed. Yeah. Right after, Ryu Min and his brother went to a nearby shop together. Ryu Won watched him walk towards a corner and asked, where are you going? The instant noodles are here. Ryu Min turned back and said, wait for me a bit. He went to use his card at a nearby ATM. Ryu Min looked at the numbers on the screen, thinking, this is the amount I've saved up until now. He touched the ATM screen and thought, 133,201. Ryu Won was startled and asked, why are you withdrawing so much money? Ryu Min laughed and said, I need to buy some things. He went to the ready-made food counter. From now on, let's eat this. Ryu Won was surprised. This stuff? He raised an eyebrow and whispered, everything here is at least 5,001. Ryu Min responded generously. It's okay, get whatever you want. With his hands in his pockets, he said, it's New Year? Are you planning to eat only ramen? Ryu Won hesitated, looking over. I know, but eating like this costs a lot, bro. Ryu Min urged, it's fine, just choose quickly. Finally, with a big smile, he picked up a box of food. Then let's have this, beef with chili, okay? Ryu Won's eyes sparkled as he looked at the can in his hand. I want to eat this too. It looks so good. Ryu Min raised a finger and proposed. Sometimes, let's go eat out, beef Hanu style. His brother laughed loudly. Why do that? This is already more than enough for me. Ryu Min smiled gently and thought, just wait a few more days. I'll make you sick of eating meat. Ryu Won used his chopsticks to put a piece of meat into his spoon. He quickly put it in his mouth. His eyes lit up as he shouted, it's so good. Ryu Min looked over and laughed. Really? Eat up. He looked up and said, thank you so much, brother. Where are you going? Ryu Min stood up. Wait for me a bit. Ryu Won watched his brother's back, not moving. Soon after, Ryu Min slammed a pen down on the table. Ryu Won looked at the pile of papers on the table and exclaimed, wait, did you withdraw all that money just to... You plan to gamble it all? Ryu Min picked up the pen and laughed. Exactly. His brother was startled and asked, wait, how many tickets did you buy? He opened the pen cap and answered, 20. Ryu Won immediately stood up and shouted, what? Why use 100,000 won on the lottery? You have no idea what you'll get. Ryu Min wasn't bothered and put down the pen. Just wait and see. He couldn't believe his eyes and exclaimed, what? What are you doing? Ryu Won looked at the pile of lottery tickets on the table and asked, why did you keep choosing the same number over and over? Ryu Min looked up and laughed. These are the winning numbers. Inside the room, a phone alert went off, announcing the results for lottery number 1049, saying they would draw today. Ryu Won looked pale as he stared at the phone, saying, we're doomed. We wasted 100,000 won. The sound from inside announced the draw. While Ryu Won, looking pale and biting his nails, mumbled, we could have bought better food with that money, and Ryu Min, sitting opposite, reminded him, can you stop biting your nails? Ryu Won froze when he heard the sound from inside. Now, the first lucky number is 3, the second lucky number is 18. He looked confused as he continued listening. The third lucky number is 9, the fourth lucky number is 38, the fifth lucky number is... Ryu Won looked at the numbers on the screen and on the lottery ticket as the voice inside repeated. We will announce the numbers for lottery 1049 once more, 3, 18, 9, 38, 21, and the bonus number is 5. He held up the lottery ticket and shouted, this is crazy. We've won first prize. With tears in his eyes, Ryu Won pointed at himself and said, brother, pinch me. To which Ryu Min calmly replied, do it yourself. He looked up and stared at Ryu Min, asking, this isn't a dream, right, brother? Ryu Min laughed and asked back, would you prefer it to be a dream? Ryu-won shook his head repeatedly, emphasizing each word. No, it isn't. With a big smile, he reassured. Don't worry, it's not a dream. Ryu-won raised the lottery ticket and asked again, It's not a dream, right? Ryu-min confirmed once more. I said it's not. He raised the lottery ticket high and shouted, We won the lottery. Ryu-min immediately put his hand to his lips, reminding, Lower your voice, the neighbors might hear. He looked up and smiled, asking, Do you like it that much? Ryu-won looked over and replied, Of course, don't you? Ryu-min closed his eyes and answered, Of course I do, thinking to himself, Well, I was like that the first time too. I even shouted out loud. Then, he was excitedly shouting, We won the lottery. Ryu-won held up the phone and asked again, Brother, it's not a dream, right? Thinking about it, Ryu-min couldn't help but mutter, but after repeating it many times, it's become normal. I need to quickly earn money after each regression. He thought about the things later, as more than 900 million people had died, causing an economic depression, and Ryu-min contemplated those items, the exchange items among players, which would become valuable in the future, all required money to buy. Ryu-won looked at the pile of lottery tickets and mumbled, I can't believe we won. I wonder how much the prize is worth, while resting his chin on his hand and exclaimed, Who knows? Ryu-min smiled slightly and calculated. Winning this amount is enough to shake the world. The next day, the two quickly headed to the Nonghyup Bank. Ryu-min swiftly moved through the crowd, thinking he had no worries anymore after winning countless times. He approached the reception desk and said, I'm here to redeem a winning ticket. Byung-ho, smiling widely, spoke up. Really? Congratulations, sir. He looked intently at Ryu-min and thought, He won the lottery? He looks like a student. Byung-ho began looking up information, asking, Can you tell me where you bought the lottery ticket? Ryu-min calmly replied, QS24, Yeonhui branch. Hearing this, he was startled and shouted, What? Byung-ho couldn't help but recall the QS24 Yeonhui branches. This morning, Dae-hyun mentioned, Have you heard? There are 115 winning tickets this time, and then he was shocked and shouted, What? 115? That's a lot. He held up one finger to add, Yeah, it's crazy. But the craziest thing is that all those tickets belong to one place. But Byung-ho touched his chin and speculated, Don't tell me one person bought all those tickets. Dae-hyun pointed at him, reminding, Forget it, if anyone says they bought tickets from the Yeonhui branch, immediately call the chairman. They're a VIP guest. Right after, Ryu-min's voice snapped Byung-ho back to reality. Sorry. He immediately smiled and apologized. I'm sorry, but could you wait a moment? Ryu-min nonchalantly replied, Sure. After a while, Junho appeared, smiling. Thank you for waiting. He shook Ryu-min's hand and introduced himself with a smile. I'm Guan Junho, chairman of Nonghyup Bank. And Ryu-min coldly replied, Ryu-min. Junho quickly continued. So you're the lottery winner. Congratulations. And Ryu-min smiled back. Thank you. He pointed to a direction and suggested, Why don't we go somewhere quieter? Please follow me. Then, Junho led him to an office and said, Here we are. Yoon Yang saw the two and immediately bowed. Hello, sir. She looked up, wondering to herself who was with the chairman. Is that his son? Junho pointed at Ryu-min and introduced him. He's a VIP guest here to claim his prize. Make sure he's comfortable. Yoon Yang looked over, surprised. V? So he's the one who won with 100 tickets. He glanced over and said, Now, feel free to look around. Ryu-min softly replied, Yes, thank you, sir. She gently pressed her lips together, reminding herself to stay calm. Yoon Yang wore a bright smile and warmly greeted him. Welcome, sir. Please have a seat over here. She turned to Ryu-min and asked, Would you like something to drink? We have coffee, tea, juice. He calmly urged, I'm fine, but more importantly, I want to claim my prize. Yoon Yang responded, All right then. First, I need to verify the winning tickets, sir. Ryu-min held out a stack of lottery tickets. Here. She widened her eyes and quickly checked all of them, thinking, I can't believe he bought them all with the same number. Did he foresee the future or something? After a while, Yoon Yang looked up and said, I've completed the verification, sir. They are all first prize winning tickets. Ryu-min asked without much attention, So how much will I receive? Her voice came back with the answer. Yes, sir. The prize is approximately 22.5 billion won. Hearing that, he began to recall, After taxes, I'll have about 15 billion won. Everything happened so quickly after I claimed the prize. Ryu-min quickly calculated, The first thing I need is a new place to live. Memories of that moment came flooding back, and that night, I opened a stock trading account. Bitcoin will rise about 500% in the next month. If I plan to invest in stocks after increasing my money through Bitcoin, and today, Ryu-min asked with his arms crossed, 1. What do you think of the new house? Do you like it? He picked up the remote and smiled. Of course it's beautiful. I've never seen such a big and beautiful house. I have to take a picture of it. He replied, this is the best place we could move into right away, and the security is good too. Ryu-1 looked uncertain and asked, but why are you renting it? With that much money, we should buy it. He froze when Ryu-min explained, I don't have that much money anymore. He raised a finger and said, I've already invested over 1 billion won in Bitcoin. Ryu-1 looked puzzled and asked, why? Ryu-min patted his shoulder to comfort him. I know what you're thinking, but I'm not doing anything reckless, okay? With a smile, he leaned in and said, I can always win more money from the lottery. Oh, and I've seen 4 more winning numbers in my dreams. Ryu-1's eyes lit up. I've only heard rumors of people dreaming about winning numbers before. Excited, he grabbed Ryu-min's shoulders and shook him. You remember all the numbers, right? Don't forget them, remember. Ryu-min laughed awkwardly. I won't, but you're making me dizzy. Ryu-min glanced away thinking, there's no way I'd forget after doing this countless times. Ryu-1 quietly said, sorry. Then he quickly headed to the door. Anyway, let's go have dinner, get ready to go out. Ryu-1 hesitantly asked, out? Where are we going to eat? With a cheerful expression, he added, didn't I tell you? We're moving today. Elsewhere, Young-min punched the wall hard. The wall caved in with a small dent surrounded by large cracks. He looked at his fist and smiled. I knew it was right to boost all my stats into strength. Young-min raised his fist again. Moreover, with a grin, he punched the wall hard. I also have a power rune that can double my strength. I got lucky with that random rune. Young-min looked proudly at the cracks on the wall and thought, I bet even Tyson would be jealous of this punch. He clenched his fist tightly, thinking, testing it is enough. Why not try it out in a real fight? At this moment, Young-min was furiously pounding on the door, calling out for Ryu-min. He grumbled in frustration, cracking his knuckles, thinking that jerk probably isn't dead yet, but still won't pick up the phone. Young-min ground his teeth in anger. That arrogant jerk. He vowed angrily, you think I'll let you off? The more Young-min thought about it, the more furious he became. After you looked at me that way, I'm going to kill you. Then he went berserk, repeatedly pounding on the door. Even though we're both players, a loser is still a loser. I'm going to teach you a lesson. Right then, Young-min paused in doubt. Clearly that bastard is hiding in the house. Why isn't he coming out? He stood still, pondering to himself. Then, Young-min cunningly leaned close to the door and pretended to walk away, figuring that jerk probably isn't home. No choice but to head back. But deep inside, he threatened silently. You make a sound and I'll break down this door. Suddenly Juan asked, hey student. Juan gently inquired, what are you doing in front of someone else's house? Young-min arrogantly questioned back, why do you care? Are you the owner? Hearing that, Juan adjusted his glasses and calmly replied, I am the owner. He questioned further, so what are you doing here? Meeting a friend. Young-min was stunned by his words, a friend. Young-min quickly caught on and cheerfully asked, yes, a friend. Could you open the door for me? He pretended to be worried and continued explaining, I've lost contact with my friend. If you could open the door. Juan felt a bit sympathetic. Oh dear. Juan shook his head slightly. It seems you've been left behind by your friend. Juan calmly informed. That room is empty now. The student living there has moved elsewhere. Young-min was stunned. What? Since when? Where did he go? Juan gently explained. He just moved out today. I don't know where. Feeling his revenge plan falling apart, he clenched his fist in anger. That bastard left without saying a word. The scene shifts to a high-rise building in the city. At that moment, Ryu-1 looked up in amazement. It's so tall. As he entered, he excitedly exclaimed, there's even a revolving door at the entrance. He marveled silently to himself. They even have access cards. At the same time, the security guard politely handed back the card. Your identity has been verified. Ryu-1 was surprised. They even have security here. He looked around and exclaimed in excitement, brother, this place is amazing. Not wanting to stay too long, Ryu-min stepped outside and signaled, let's go. Ryu-1 obediently followed. Yes. Upon entering the house, he exclaimed in astonishment, how big is this place? He calmly answered, about 330 square meters. Ryu-1 repeated in a daze, 330. He expressed his hesitation. Just the two of us, isn't that a bit too big? Meanwhile, Ryu-min shrugged. We have a lot of money, so it should be at least this big. Ryu-1 nervously asked, how much is the contract then? Ryu-min casually replied, the deposit is 500 million won, and monthly is 22 million won. Hearing the enormous numbers, Ryu-1 was stunned and muttered, 22 million? The monthly rent is already 22 million won. Just a few days ago, I was worried about wasting 5,000 won at the convenience store. Ryu-1 anxiously pleaded, brother, this place is too expensive. Wouldn't it be better to move to a cheaper house? However, Ryu-min ignored him and just assessed the surroundings. It's clean. Without hesitation, he rejected the idea. No, it should cost at least this much. The more expensive, the better the security. On the first day of each month, all players fall into a deep sleep. And this is the most vulnerable time for players. Vulnerable to natural disasters like fires or earthquakes, and assassins hired by other players, so players must prepare to enter the alternate world in the safest place possible. Ryu Min silently reminded himself, no matter how skilled in that world, everything ends if you die in the real world. The next moment, he turned and asked, "Don't you like this house?" Ryu Won quickly responded, "The house is great, but why are you asking?" Seeing his brother satisfied, Ryu Min nodded in relief, "Glad you like it." Right then, Ryu Won anxiously lowered his head and sighed. He choked up, apologizing to himself. "I'm sorry." Thinking about the burden, Ryu Won felt uneasy and said, "Next month you'll be pulled into another world to fight again. But I'm just sitting here enjoying everything like nothing's happened. I'm useless. I'm sorry." Right after saying this, he quickly patted his friend's shoulder to reassure him. Ryu Min smiled and encouraged him. "Why are you so gloomy? Don't you think I'll win in the next round?" Ryu Won hesitated and didn't know what to say. Well, not wanting the atmosphere to become grim, he quickly suggested, "Let's not think about that anymore. Let's go eat. I heard the Korean restaurant on the second floor is really good." He awkwardly agreed. "Okay." Suddenly, Ryu Min's phone rang out. He looked at the screen and thought to himself, "He knows I've moved already. I'll just ignore him. I don't plan to meet him in real life anymore." Ryu Min worriedly put the phone back in his pocket, but wondered if they'd meet in another world. The day after moving houses, he finally woke up, still sleepy. Seeing his younger brother getting ready to leave, Ryu Min curiously asked, "Where are you going?" Ryu Won smiled and greeted him. "Oh, you're awake." The next second, he excitedly reported, "Yes, I ordered some rice cakes, so I'm going to pick them up." Hearing this, he repeated in confusion, "Rice cakes?" Ryu Min reminisced, trying to remember rice cakes. I don't think this ever happened before. Of course, going back to the past doesn't mean everything stays the same, but I think this is the first time he's going out to buy rice cakes, right? He asked further, "Why did you buy rice cakes?" Ryu Won cleverly explained, "We just moved here. I need to give them to our neighbors. Isn't that polite?" Listening to this, Ryu Min nodded in agreement. Becoming a good neighbor isn't bad. That's a good idea. "That's my brother," he excitedly asked, "isn't it?" Then, Ryu Won eagerly said, "I'll go meet the neighbors now, so you just relax." But Ryu Min quickly suggested we should greet them together. "Let me change clothes. Wait a minute." A few minutes later, he stood in front of the neighbor's door and rang the bell. Immediately, Mi Rin called out, "Who is it?" Ryu Won looked through the camera and politely replied, "Hello, we've just moved next door. We've come to say hi." Hearing this, she warmly opened the door. "Hello." Mi Rin looked at the two young men before her and kindly inquired, "You two look alike? Are you brothers?" He cheerfully answered, "Yes." Then, Ryu Won quickly handed over a gift. "We've brought some rice cakes for you. They're best eaten while still warm." She received the gift and nodded in thanks. "Oh my, thank you both so much. I'll enjoy them." He politely bowed and said goodbye. "Thank you. See you later." Next, Ryu Min moved on to another apartment. "We just moved to room 4302 yesterday." Ryu Won presented a gift to the man. "Here's some rice cakes." He bowed and asked for her help. "Please help us." He smiled and encouraged them. "Enjoy them." The mother and child responded happily. "Say thank you, son." "Thank you, sir." At this point, Ryu Won wearily complained, "Brother, there's just one more house. Let's finish. We can't quit now." Ryu Min resignedly agreed, "Let's greet the last house and then go home to rest." At that moment, he wondered, "Did you know this is a penthouse?" They bought the entire 44th and 45th floors. He confirmed with a nod. "So they're super rich, right?" Ryu Min looked around unsure. "I don't really know, but it's probably someone wealthy or a celebrity." Seeing no movement, Ryu Won became puzzled. Maybe they're not home? He anxiously rang the bell. After receiving no response, Ryu Won turned to signal. "Looks like they're not home. Let's just..." Suddenly, he heard footsteps and quickly turned around. Ryu Won saw the person in front of him and was stunned, exclaiming, "That person." Seeing the glamorous face, he was shocked and yelled, "Actress Seo Arin." At that moment, Ryu Won blushed with admiration, thinking, "She's so beautiful, like an angel." Just then, Sang Chul stepped forward and raised his hand protectively. He sternly asked, "Who are you guys, fans?" Ryu Min calmly explained, "We live on the floor below." Hearing this, Sang Chul was surprised and looked at the plate of snacks, thinking, "People from the floor below." He nodded and changed to a friendlier tone. "I wondered who you might be," and then he cheerfully added, "Do you want to try the rice cakes?" Sang Chul refused without hesitation. "No need. Besides, she doesn't eat those things." Then, he placed the room card on the door. Sang Chul respectfully opened the door and gestured, "Go ahead," prompting Aaron to nod in response. "Okay." Next, she hesitated and glanced behind. Ryu Min, feeling uncomfortable, criticized, "Who does that guy think he is, being so rude?" He turned to remind, "Don't mind that jerk," but Ryu Won dismissed it. "It's okay. What's more important is," he eagerly asked, "did you see her? She's really beautiful." Noticing his brother's overenthusiasm, Ryu Min raised an eyebrow, puzzled. Why? Seeing his brother's indifferent attitude, Ryu Won marveled. "What do you mean why? You saw her too." He urgently repeated, "It's Seo Arin," but Ryu Min bluntly asked, "Who is Seo Arin?" Meanwhile, inside the room, Arin was focused on reading the latest hot news. She sighed wearily. Arin wondered to herself, how is the world even working like this? Right at that moment, Hong Xian sent a message. The message inside asked, "Arin, have you heard the news? Gong Seojin has passed away." Hong San curiously inquired, "Are you going to pay your respects tomorrow?" Arin affirmed confidently, "I have to. He took care of us a lot." And the other girl agreed. "Then we'll go together." After putting down her phone, she was horrified, thinking, "I can't believe someone more successful than me died in the first round." Reflecting on the terrifying memories, Aaron was scared. If I hadn't secured a good ancient script, my name would have been on the news too. She assessed herself. "I've grown a lot. I even thought there'd be an article about me, but it's unbelievable." Aaron bitterly looked around. If it weren't for the company's sponsorship, could I be this big? This penthouse was also bought by the company. Noticing her gloomy expression, Sang Chol came over to ask, "What are you thinking, Aaron?" She quickly denied, "It's nothing." He calmly sat next to her and said, "It's okay. I told you, you can tell me everything." Aaron listened and reluctantly expressed, "I'm just wondering why the world ended up like this, and how will I survive the next round? That's what I'm thinking." Yang Chul confidently reassured her, "Don't worry about the next round. I'm here. What are you worried about?" He firmly assured her, "You're worrying too much. Just trust me and rest." She smiled and agreed. Of course. Who else would I trust? Deep down, Aaron thought, when the company assigned me a bodyguard and assistant, I was very cautious because it felt like they just wanted someone to watch over me. Silently thankful, she realized, if it weren't for him, I'd have died in the first round. At that moment, Yang Chul loyally promised, "I'll protect you at all costs, so don't give up." Aaron nodded in relief. "Thank you so much." The next second, she subtly mentioned about earlier, "They brought rice cakes for me, so they probably just moved in and they look pretty good." However, he dismissively reminded her, "If you eat that, you'll gain weight again." Aaron awkwardly muttered, "They went through a lot to greet us. They must be disappointed." But Yang Chol coldly rejected, "Just ignore it. It's just a greeting." He sharply warned, "They just want to take advantage of you. Once you agree, they will keep bothering you." Thinking about their innocent gaze, she quietly defended them. They seem not to be bad people. Next, Aaron curiously guessed, "Our neighbors look like they're over 15 years old. They must have killed at least 100 goblins to survive, right?" Yang Chul hesitantly replied, "Probably." She admired and commented, "Interesting. How people who have faced such danger can act like nothing happened." He sighed mockingly after hearing that. "Do you think killing 100 goblins is hard for them?" "Only fools lose." Aaron defended her thoughts. "That's because his skills in another world are outstanding, but still." She longed and repeated in her head, "He's not as good as that person, Hackle. He almost made me feel sorry for the goblins." Aaron dreamily speculated about his identity. Maybe in real life he has some job. I wonder what he does. I'll survive round 2 if I team up with someone skilled. She hugged herself and worried. Last time I survived out of luck, will I survive next time? Time passed to Tuesday, January 31st, 11 a.m. At this moment, Ryu Won was cleaning the house. Just then, Ryu Min walked in announcing, "I'm back," and he was warmly greeted. "You're back?" Ryu Won eagerly asked, "Did you make it this time?" He nodded, "Not much this time, probably 15 billion won." Hearing this, he was stunned and blurted out, "Are you kidding? Didn't the bank say anything? This is the 4th time you've won." Ryu Min smiled wryly. "About that. Going back a bit, the manager was startled. "You're back again, lucky customer?" He asked curiously, "What's your secret?" Ryu Min gleefully explained, "I told you last time, I was given a dream." The manager was amazed. "Impressive. I wish I had a dream like that." After hearing the story, Ryu Won was speechless. He anxiously asked, "So, are you putting all the money into Bitcoin again?" He gently reminded, "It's gone up to 150 billion won." Next, Ryu Won earnestly advised, "Brother, shouldn't we withdraw now? I'm afraid we'll lose it all." However, Ryu Min confidently insisted, "Not yet." He calmly reassured, "Don't worry too much, I'll handle it all. Let's go eat something." Then, the two brothers went to a restaurant for a cozy meal. Next, they went shopping together. Time passed to Tuesday, January 31st, 11:55 p.m. At that moment, he anxiously held onto his brother's hand. Brother, Ryu-1 choked up, reminding, you have to survive and come back. Ryu-min confidently assured, don't worry, you saw me beat Bang Taegyu, right? Ryu-1 still felt a bit scared. Well, yes, but... Seeing this, he tousled his brother's hair. Don't worry, just go to sleep. Ryu-min clearly promised, when you open your eyes, I'll wake up with you. I'm going now. As soon as he finished speaking, he teleported into the game. Right after, other players also appeared. They looked around in confusion. Are we back again? Really? We're here again? Where is this place? It's not like round 1. As soon as they saw Ryu-1's figure, the players exclaimed in surprise, it's the number 1 from the last round, Hakgol. Seeing their cautious stares, he quietly observed, judging by how they don't dare come near, it seems they all recognize me. They fearfully asked each other, is he the one who slaughtered the goblins, number 1? Ryu-min impatiently wondered, it seems like everyone's gathered, when will it appear? He slowly looked up ahead. Right then, Felicity appeared. Greeting, is everyone here? The crowd buzzed in confusion. Another angel? Yes, what happened? She calmly announced, the angel in charge of round 1 had an accident and won't appear anymore. Hearing this, they looked at each other in shock. An accident. Felicity saw the commotion and gently reminded, don't panic, humans. She arrogantly declared, I will guide you all thoroughly from now on. Felicity spread her wings to signal. Since you're all here, I'll announce the mission for the second round. As soon as she finished speaking, the system interface appeared before the players. Round 2, main mission, choose a regional representative within 3 hours. Total participants, 900,514,645. Completed, 0 out of 900,514,645. Current region, SK45 participants, 543. Completed, 0 out of 5,143. Reading these words in the air, the crowd speculated, choose a regional representative? What's this all about? I thought they'd ask us to kill more monsters. Wait, look at the completion number. Does this mean everyone can survive this time? Seeing the confused expressions of thousands, she chuckled. You all look so puzzled. Let me explain. Felicity pointed as she explained, you see, this stage has nothing to do with fighting. All you need to do is pick someone to be the representative. She gave a detailed reminder, the regional representative can use their authority to command others. Felicity emphasized the privilege. If they tell someone to crawl, that person crawls. If they command someone to die, that person loses their life. Isn't this power amazing? Then, she laid out the rules. In 3 hours, everyone will receive their ballot. Just write down the name of the person you want as the regional representative. Right then, Go Yule raised his hand and spoke. That's it? There are no other rules? Felicity calmly confirmed the condition. That's right. Just voting completes the mission, and you'll be able to go home. Consider this your break. Upon hearing this, the players cheered joyfully. Just a vote and it's done. We're gonna live. No more fighting. This is way easier than the last round. She activated the countdown clock and commanded, for the next 3 hours, discuss who will become the regional representative. Time left, 2 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. Meanwhile, Mina skeptically asked, is it really that easy to survive? Like a piece of cake. And if you become the regional representative, you get to hold the power too. Youngmin gritted his teeth in frustration. Damn it, all that preparation for battle wasted. Ha-jun quickly advised him. Youngmin, let it go. Surviving by voting isn't so bad. He muttered angrily. I invested all my stats and strength with no chance to show it. That's what frustrates me. Hearing this, Ryu-min thought to himself, he focused so much on strength. This time, the strength rune appeared too. He compared the current situation with his past life, realizing everything was happening just like in his memories, even with Hwang Yongmin's rune of strength. Ryu-min discreetly slipped away from the gathering. They'll debate for 3 hours to pick someone, but that doesn't matter. When there's a main mission, there's a side mission. He pulled out his dagger and set his ultimate goal, side missions and hidden missions in round 2, leveling up, acquiring a class. Ryu-min tightened his grip on the dagger with determination. He looked at the goblin before him and decided, I need to reach level 10 as fast as possible. Without a word, Ryu-min boldly commanded, come here. Immediately, he jumped swiftly toward it. As soon as he defeated the goblin, the system reported his achievement, you have defeated a hobgoblin. Current kills, 1 out of 100. Triple experience buff used. All stats increased by 1% due to the Butcher rune effect. Ryu-min paused and thought it over. Venturing deep into the forest to hunt was the right call. Plus, he confidently concluded, where there's one goblin, there's bound to be a group. Just then, a group of hobgoblins appeared before him. Ryu-1 caught on to Ryu-min's plan and smiled, satisfied. He stood still, waiting for them to step out of the bushes. At that moment, Ryu-min swiftly took one down. As soon as he pulled out his dagger, the system announced, "You have defeated a hobgoblin." It highlighted the significant change: current kills, 50 out of 100. All stats increased by 50% due to the Butcher rune effect. You have leveled up. The system keenly warned, discussion time remaining, 2 hours, 29 minutes, 24 seconds. Looking at the time, he calmly wiped the blood. Only 30 minutes have passed. Status window. Immediately, the information screen appeared. Status window, name, Ryu Min, nickname Darkhound, rank, novice. Level 9, class, none, titles, final time traveler, hidden, first to kill an angel, hidden. He was impressed. I've reached level 9 already. Ryu Min thought it through carefully. Early on, I'll focus on agility. If I want a rune of strength like Huang Yongmin, boosting power is effective, but putting everything into strength makes survival tough. He pressed the button and reminded himself, no matter how strong, if you can't dodge a fatal blow, you're done for. As soon as he finished, the attributes were updated. You have 4 stats: strength, intelligence, agility, lucky. Strength increases physical damage, stamina, and defense. Intelligence boosts magic damage, will, and perception. Agility enhances attack speed, movement speed, and evasion. Lucky increases critical hit rate, item drops, and gold rewards. Seeing the balanced development path, Ryu Min was satisfied. No stat can be wasted. He thought quietly, especially against Reapers, since they use both physical and magical damage. Balancing all stats is ideal. At that moment, Ryu Min suddenly felt eyes watching him from behind. He quickly turned around, looking to see if someone was following him. He hadn't noticed while hunting, but it seemed like he was being tailed. He hadn't sent anyone after him. The next second, Ryu Min pointed his dagger and shouted, "I don't know who you are, but show yourself. If you don't reveal your intentions," he emphasized firmly, "you'll lose your life." Seeing that she was discovered, Erin slowly stepped out. She timidly raised her hand and introduced herself. "It's me." Seeing the familiar face, Ryu Min was surprised. It was actress Seo Arin. Was Seo Arin following him? She awkwardly apologized, "Sorry for following you." At that moment, Sang Chul also stepped forward to admit, "Forgive us." He raised his hands in a gesture of peace. "We didn't mean any harm. Please don't be angry." Looking at the name above his head, Ryu Min was startled, and Sang Chul. The next second, Ryu Min was horrified as he put the pieces together. If it was that in Sangchul, then wasn't he Ma Gyunglok's right-hand man? He realized with shock that Ma Gyunglok was the eldest son of the biggest company in the country, the player known as Heavenly Demon. And he was one of Ryu Min's targets. Recruiting Ma Gyunglok would be a huge help for him. But my true purpose is to recruit the priest associated with him in round 20. Seeing the person in front of him, Ryu Min was amazed. He hadn't expected to meet Ma Gyunglok's right-hand man so soon. But why wasn't Sangchul with Seo Arin? Wait, could he be? He was startled as he remembered the bodyguard for Seo Arin. Recalling the information, Ryu Min nodded to himself. Thinking back, he remembered there was a rumor that Ma Gyunglok was sponsoring a star for work purposes. More importantly, without hesitation, he frowned and asked, "When did you start following me?" The future changes in unwanted ways. Aaron hesitantly explained, "Since the beginning, when you set off, I saw you head into the forest and followed you. Sorry if I annoyed you." Ryu Min suspiciously asked, "Why are you following me?" She quickly suggested, "It's not with bad intentions. We just want to propose something." Hearing this, he couldn't help but wonder, propose? Aaron cautiously invited, "Yes, you ranked first in round 1, right? So?" She hurriedly made a request. "Would you consider working together with us?" Ryu Min listened and then smirked. "Cooperate? Isn't that word used only when both sides need each other?" Seeing his firm attitude, Aaron replied nervously, "Yes, that's right." He bluntly mocked. "But why do I need you? I can fight alone. Don't waste my time. Go back." Ryu Min decisively turned away and walked off. "I don't intend to team up with you too." They watched his silhouette gradually fade into the distance. Sangchul angrily cursed. "What's wrong with that jerk? How big is his ego?" Seeing her suddenly sit down on the ground, he asked in confusion, "Ms. Arin?" She dejectedly explained, "He didn't just get to the top by chance. His pressure is intense." "What pressure?" "Anyone would be scared if he pointed a sword at them and glared." Arin honestly expressed her wish, "I want to team up with the top-ranked player, but this didn't go as I planned." Sangchul clicked his tongue and advised, "I told you, someone like him doesn't need allies. He's too arrogant." She lamented sadly, "Yeah, it's a bit of a shame." He seriously signaled, "Forget it. Don't waste time on someone like that." Arin added anxiously, "But I didn't know there were these monsters in the woods. Let's just hunt for now, okay?" Afterwards, she cheerfully agreed, "Not bad. Let's go, bodyguard." Meanwhile, inside the bush on the other side. At this moment, the hobgoblin glanced around confused. Seeing it off guard, Ryu Min jumped in and attacked. "Busy as I am, and they want to cooperate? No need to think about it." He quickly took down the hobgoblin. Right now, leveling up was the top priority. Solo hunting speeds up experience gain. Immediately after, the system delivered rewards. You have defeated a hobgoblin. Current kills, 60 out of 100. All stats increased by 60% due to the Butcher rune effect. Suddenly, a gnoll appeared in front of him. Ryumin smiled excitedly. 5 gnolls at once? I've got lucky. At that moment, they charged fiercely toward him. Seeing the gnolls jump at him, Ryumin stayed still. He seized the moment and used a move to take them all down. After finishing, the system notified, you have defeated a gnoll, current knockdowns 65 out of 100. All stats increased by 60% due to the Butcher's rune effect. You have leveled up. You have reached level 10. It brightly congratulated. You have met the requirements for leveling up. As soon as Ryu Min saw the reward, he felt a burst of happiness. Now he could use the store feature. There was a hidden mission, and finally he could level up. He carefully read the information inside. Round 2, side mission, level up before the voting period, obtain the upgrade item, and receive a profession. If successful, he'd get a 50% discount coupon for daily items. Ryumin thought to himself that anyone seeing the side mission for the first time would be puzzled. Where to find the upgrade item? It doesn't tell me what my profession is. Everyone knows getting a profession is good, but the problem is no one knows how to get the upgrade item, which is usually acquired by meeting special conditions. He recalled the conditions for leveling up. Warriors needed to increase their strength stat to at least level 10, and kill 30 monsters within that time to get the upgrade item. Maniacs also had to go on a bloody hunt within the given time. Assassins needed to successfully assassinate monsters multiple times, meaning each person had to complete activities related to their profession to get the upgrade item. Ryu Min remembered his past life mistake. He kept hunting monsters and hiding in the forest, which led to his hunter profession. Looking at the item in his hand, he mused, but once I learned about the Reaper profession, I chose it right away. Without hesitation, Ryu Min decisively activated and used it. Immediately, light spread around him. You have used an upgrade item. Your profession cannot change, so choose carefully. Do you want to level up to a Reaper profession? Without a second thought, he pressed confirm. I don't even need to think. In a flash, Ryu Min leveled up successfully. You have leveled up to the Reaper profession. The system opened up a gift. Your level up reward is the Reaper rune. Reaper rune effect. During the day, weapon attacks double. At night, attack speed increases by 50%. Resting at night greatly reduces the chance of enemy detection. The item in his hand shattered. The rune automatically etched onto the player's body. The system continued with the rewards. Your level up reward is the Reaper's scythe. Ryu Min eagerly stared at the screen. I got both the rune and the weapon. In the next moment, the system awarded more loot. You have received a 50% discount coupon for daily items for completing the side mission. Your rank has increased from beginner to apprentice. Ryu Min was amazed and said, my rank has also increased. The system updated the status window. Name, Ryu Min, nickname, Black Horse, rank apprentice, level 10, profession, Reaper, title, last time traveler, hidden, first angel slayer, hidden, skills, runes, additional rewards. Players are divided into 6 ranks, master at level 99, expert at level 60, skilled at level 40, regular at level 20, apprentice at level 10, beginner at level 1. Like in other games, leveling up increases rewards and grants new skills. You have learned the Reaper's Deathmark skill. Deathmark skill effect creates a mark visible only to the target and the caster, shows the target's remaining stamina. The target takes 100% additional damage every time the caster attacks. The effect only works on one target at a time. He could also equip higher level items now, like the Reaper's Scythe. Weapon type, rare, apprentice level and up. Description, a giant scythe believed to be used by the Reaper. Beginners struggled to lift it. After considering his options, he smiled triumphantly. If you don't level up, you'll stay a beginner forever. Better to level up quickly. You've been recognized as the first player to level up. Your reward is a bag of random gold. And, being the first to level up, you learned the neutral tracking skill. He was secretly pleased, happy to learn it. They received a neutral skill. Neutral tracking skill effect detects the location of the desired target. However, the face and nickname must match to be a valid target. It costs 20,000 gold. Ryu Min didn't hesitate to try it immediately. With a 20,000 gold skill, it had to be tested, right? Track. As soon as he spoke, the screen displayed information. Hwang Yongmin, name and face matched, tracking target location. He quietly followed the instructions. He identified the player's location. Hwang Yongmin, now 190 meters away. Follow the arrow in front of you to track the target. Looking at the direction of the arrow, Ryu Min speculated, 190 meters? So he's entered the forest too. He rubbed his chin in surprise, thinking, walking from 2 kilometers away to now only 190 meters, should I follow him secretly? Meanwhile, Sang Chul and Aaron were running at full speed. She couldn't keep up and collapsed to the ground. Aaron, trembling and holding her legs, said, I can't run anymore. My legs won't. He nervously urged her. We need to keep moving, Miss Aaron, if they catch us. Sang Chul helped Aaron up and gently advised. Even if your leg hurts, you have to endure it. She trembled, blaming herself. I'm sorry, the arrow wound hurts too much. Right then, he gritted his teeth to reassure her. Just a theory, but even if you're injured in this world, your body outside should be fine. If you can survive and get out of here somehow, you can go home. Despite the pain, Aaron agreed with the idea. Got it. I'll bear the pain. Suddenly, Youngmin arrogantly warned, Where do you think you're going with that injury? Hearing his familiar voice, they both turned around in shock. He smirked arrogantly. Guess it's not painful enough yet, huh? Sangchul bitterly gritted his teeth and cursed. Damn it. He resentfully glared at Aaron. This damn girl is too slow, now we're all caught. With no other option, Sangchul decided to fight desperately. Is fighting our only choice now? Yongmin saw this and taunted. You want to pick a fight with us? He arrogantly pointed his finger. Open your eyes and look. Do you see how many of us there are here? He angrily shouted. Why are you doing this? What did we ever do to you? Youngmin calmly explained, of course he didn't do anything, and then he questioned, then why did you suddenly attack us? He eagerly confirmed, we just want this thing, leaving Sang Chol confused. What thing? The next moment, Yongmin pointed and signaled, the girl with the guy. He blatantly threatened, we're all men here. There's no reason for me to care about you. We want Seo Aaron. The group suspiciously asked each other, is that really Seo Aaron? Just by looking, can't you tell? One look and you know that's definitely Seo Aaron. Maybe someone wanted to look like her and copied her appearance. They smirked. So what? Looking alike is enough, right? Am I right? Without further words, Yang Min made a bold request. If you let Seo Aaron stay, I'll let you go. What do you say? He was upset after hearing that. If the target is Seo Aaron, you should have said so from the start. If that was the case, I would have left her behind without hesitation. Sangchul glanced troubled at her. I have no intention of dying for that girl. Reluctantly, he took a fighting stance, but there was a problem. If he couldn't protect Seo Aaron, director Ma Younglok would be very disappointed in him. Seeing this, Youngmin shouted impatiently, What's with that stance? Want to fight, huh? Sangchul gritted his teeth and warned, Do you know what you're doing is a crime? He arrogantly repeated, A crime? The next moment, Youngmin suddenly burst into laughter. Amused, he taunted, You're funny, there's no law here, so why talk about law? Are you planning to report to the police once you return to the real world? Youngmin shrugged provocatively. Go ahead, try. But how will you prove anything? This face might not even be my real one. Hearing this, he grudgingly admitted the harsh truth to himself. He's right. It's frustrating. Sangchul decided to take a risk. Just talking isn't enough to make them back down. I'll have to fight these guys with my worn-out body. Suddenly, seeing a figure in front of him, he exclaimed in surprise, You are! Sangchul saw Ryu Min standing behind a tree and shouted, Black dog? Young Min was shocked, his eyes wide. What? Since when did this guy? Without hesitation, he directly asked, What are you two doing here? He raised an eyebrow and warned, Hey, why don't you mind your own business? Ryu Min coldly ignored him. I'm asking you, what's happening here? Sensing the time was right, Sang Chul quickly accused, Those guys are after Seo Aaron, so they ambushed us. If you help us, Black Dog, I'll never forget your kindness. After hearing the accusation, Yong Min clicked his tongue in annoyance. Unhappy, he turned and questioned, Is what he said true? He waved dismissively. Does it matter if it's true? Yong Min stood firm. This isn't your business. Ru Min, with a proud and threatening aura, replied, What do you mean? I know these people. Feeling the overwhelming pressure, he stammered in fear. What do you want to do? Without delay, he summoned his scythe and declared confidently, I won't let them get hurt. Seeing Ryu Min step in, Young Min couldn't help but feel annoyed. Sang Chul and Aaron were happy and thanked him. Thank you. Meanwhile, Ryu Min was quietly calculating the benefits, thinking, if I do this, it'll be beneficial for me too. Ryu Min was sure that if he helped, Ma Gyeonglok would have a good impression of him. He was excited thinking, if a corporation like that owes me a favor, the rewards will increase a lot, and I'll be rewarded generously. Ryu Min looked at their arrogant attitude and felt disdain, thinking, besides, I don't like that jerk anyway. Yong Min and his friends were worried and threatened as he approached, saying, What are you doing? I'll kill you if you come any closer. However, Ryu Min didn't care and just stared at them. Ryu Min smirked and taunted. What's wrong? Don't want to fight me anymore? He was horrified and cursed silently. Damn it. What are you saying? Young Min remembered each terrifying action. You tore apart those goblins in an instant. Last time you were top 1 too. If it were me, would you want to fight such a monster? At this moment, his face was pale, still in shock. Ryu Min placed his scythe down and smiled, saying, If you don't want to fight, just say so. Seeing a chance to survive, Young Min quickly negotiated. If I tell the truth, will you let me go? Ryu Min crossed his arms and offered an option. I'll consider it if you kneel and beg for your life. He was stunned, saying, so you're asking me to humiliate myself? Young Min thought angrily, while my friends are watching, and right in front of Aaron. He was irritated and cursed inwardly. If it were possible, I wouldn't want to fight it. But you've pissed me off, you dog. Just then, Young Min was startled and realized, wait a minute. He remembered the punch before and thought daringly, didn't I become strong enough to punch through a wall with my bare hands? If I'm lucky, maybe I can take it down with just one punch. After considering carefully, Young Min smirked arrogantly. He cracked his knuckles and shouted boastfully, you've gone too far, you bastard. Young Min aggressively stepped forward slowly. You want me to do what? Kneel and beg? You want to die? Watching the distance close, he confidently assessed. Yes, I'll get close like this and punch it right in the face. Young Min imagined and assured himself, even it can't survive after that punch. He warmed up his arms and thought triumphantly. How can an ordinary person withstand a punch that can break a wall, right? Right then, Ryu Min calmly withdrew his weapon. Seeing this, Young Min was confused. What are you doing? You're throwing your weapon aside? Ryu Min calmly replied, if you're fighting me barehanded and I have a weapon, it's a bit unfair, isn't it? Winning that easily is boring. He heard and arrogantly cursed. You're just a ridiculous bastard. As soon as he finished speaking, Ryu Min swiftly launched forward. Young Min was shocked by what he witnessed. Before he could comprehend, Ryu Min was already near his position. Young Min prepared to swing his fist. You stupid dog. You're throwing your weapon aside and exposing your head like that. He violently threw a punch forward. Die. However, Ryu Min skillfully dodged. The next moment, Young Min was suddenly taken by surprise. He took the full force of Ryu Min's kick to his stomach. In just an instant, Young Min lost his balance and was sent flying backward. At this point, Ryu Min casually retracted his leg. He angrily held his stomach and cursed. You dog. Ryu Min coldly reminded him. Stop swearing. Ryu Min followed up with a kick straight to his face. Your words are just filth to my ears. Young Min was bewildered, holding his face in pain. Not stopping there, Ryu Min grabbed his shirt. Ryu Min relentlessly punched him in the face again and again. Meanwhile, Young Min was terrified by the blows. It didn't feel like punches, more like a hammer smashing into his face. Seeing the fierce look in his eyes, Young Min was horrified and thought, is this guy as strong as me? Young Min was stunned, wondering, he doesn't have a strength rune like I do. How is he this strong? After venting his anger, Ryu Min slowly let go. Seeing their teammate get beaten so badly, Dong Hyun urgently ordered, Young Min, shoot that bastard. Immediately, Ha Jun's arrow was fired. Aaron, seeing this, shouted in panic, Ryu Min, dodge. But Ryu Min not only dodged, but also moved with agility. Ha Jun, scared, continued to draw his bow. Die. Ryu Min calmly leaned forward and started running towards him. He cleverly zigzagged. Then, Ryu Min approached Ha Jun and whispered, I guess you catching monsters and getting a bow was just luck, huh? Ryu Min, beaming, summoned his scythe. Bad luck for you to meet me now. Seconds later, he gracefully swung his weapon in a circle. In no time, Ha Jun's arm flew into the air. Seeing this, Ha Jun screamed in panic, my arm. At the same time, Dong Hyun and Mu Yeol screamed in anger, you think you can fight us and just leave? Then, he recklessly charged in, die, you dog. However, Ryu Min calmly glanced over. Is that what you think? Without saying much, he activated his skill, Death Emblem. Ryu Min tightened his grip on his weapon and channeled power into the scythe. He decisively slashed in a sharp arc. In that moment, Dong Hyun's legs were caught by the scythe. He cried out in pain, lost his balance, and fell to the ground. Seeing this, Mu Yeol screamed in terror. His leg. But Ryu Min didn't stop there. He quickly dashed towards him. He arrogantly mocked. You dare attack me with a weapon? You must have some skill. Then, Ryu Min mercilessly chopped off Mu Yeol's arm. Seeing the skill displayed, he couldn't help but admire. Having the death scythe is different. It has a double damage effect, so with one swing, it cut through everything. Seeing them all losing parts of their bodies, Ryu Min confidently remarked, this is too easy. He quietly calculated, but I can't finish everything like this. Ryu Min tightened his grip on his weapon and moved slowly towards Mu Yeol. I have to deepen this fear so they won't dare come near me again. At that moment, he tried to drag his body backward. Dong Hyun, trembling, kneeled and begged, please stop. He pleaded fearfully, I'm about to die, please spare me. Noticing the cowardice, he pretended to swing the scythe. Stop talking, you're not dying just from coughing some blood. After finishing the job, Ryu Min sighed in relief. That's it for them. Next up is, in the next second, he turned sharply to the side. Ryu Min stared forward and threatened. Hiding is useless. He simply swung his weapon down. There's no exception. Instantly, the attack severed Yong Min's arm. Seeing this, he screamed in despair. Ryu Min harshly ordered, "Stop crying like a baby." He angrily recalled memories of their bullying. "This is nothing compared to the pain you caused me." Yong Min was left speechless. Witnessing this brutality, Aaron and Sang Chol stood frozen in shock. He thought in horror. He cut off both arms of an opponent, even when they had no will to fight. Sang Chol admired his decisiveness. "To some, it may seem cruel, but I like people with such a cold head." He mused. That's Ryu Min, the one brave enough to go against the leader. At that moment, Ryu Min approached them and asked, "Are you two all right?" He hurriedly expressed gratitude. "Yes, thanks to you." Ryu Min calmly pointed to reassure, "You don't need to worry about them anymore. As you can see, they're crippled. Best to leave it be." Aaron and Sang Chul both bowed in thanks. "Thank you so much for helping us." "Thank you, Ryu Min." She curiously asked, "But won't they soon die?" Ryu Min coldly replied with disdain, "So what? They're not even worth as much as animals." He sighed, quietly criticizing, "She's too soft." Ryu Min questioned, curious, "Why care about those scumbags' lives? She acts like a saint. It must be because she has to keep up appearances as a celebrity." Right then, Sang Chul raised his hand and spoke, "Ryu Min, can I ask you something? I hope you don't mind." Ryu Min responded, confused, "What's the matter?" He cautiously asked, "Why did you spare them? In this world, it's not too big a deal if you killed them." Hearing this, Yong Min shivered in fear. He smiled to himself, thinking, "The reason, huh? He really is Ma Gyeonglok's right-hand man." Ryu Min calmly explained, "It's simple. There's no reward in killing them." To which Sang Chol exclaimed in surprise, "No reward at all?" He seriously warned about the consequences, thinking that if they were left alone, they might cause trouble in the future. He frowned and emphasized again, "Trouble." Ryu Min smirked mockingly. "Can they really do that?" He astutely added, "Besides, reducing the population isn't good, because the number of successful participants will also decrease." Sang Chul recognized his foresight and praised. Just as he said, if the number of successful participants decreases, the living areas for those who pass will also be reduced. The more he thought about it, the more he admired. He's even thinking about these aspects. His understanding of the game is different. He's really impressive. After understanding, Sang Chul agreed. "I see, we will stop paying attention to this trash." Without hesitating, he turned to leave. "Then I'm off." Seeing this, he hurriedly stopped him. "Wait, Hakao." Sang Chul quickly suggested, "If you give me your account number, I'll send a reward in the real world later." However, Ryu Min directly refused. "No need." Watching his figure fade into the distance, he was utterly amazed. He helps others without needing a reward. Sang Chul pondered to himself, "I'll report this to the chairman immediately." Seeing Young Min complaining, he swallowed his anger and thought, "Though I want to kill them, I have to hold back." As Hak Kao said, there's no benefit in killing them. Then, Sang Chul spat on his face and signaled, "You bastards, let's go, Aaron." She nodded in agreement. "Understood." The scene shifts to the gathering area where players are arguing fiercely. "Please give me all the votes. Please vote for me. If everyone votes for me as the regional representative, I'll do a good job." "No, instead of him, I'm confident I can do better." Hearing this provocation, two players angrily rush to fight. You fat pig. What did you say? What did you call me?" Seeing the situation becoming unstable, Hyun and AI stepped in to mediate. "Both of you, don't fight. Even if we join forces, we're still too weak. Fighting won't accomplish anything." "That's true." Noticing the opportunity, he boldly proposed, "Those who are easily provoked aren't worthy of being representatives. Let me do it." Suddenly, Nam Gil interrupted. "Wait." Arrogantly pointing, he declared, "My father is a member of parliament. Isn't it more appropriate for me to be the representative?" One sick and a friend sarcastically exclaimed, "Your father is a member of parliament? How can we believe that?" Just then, Gut Yul loudly interrupted, "Everyone." Immediately, the tense atmosphere came to a halt. He nervously urged, "There's only 2 hours left to vote. We shouldn't waste time like this. We need to vote quickly." Hearing this, they anxiously asked for advice. "Then how do we decide on someone to vote for? Do you have any suggestions?" Ga Yul smiled and offered his solution. "Yes, and it's a great one." The players looked around in amazement. "Really? Who is it?" He cunningly reminded, "Everyone, please be quiet." Inside, Ga Yul laughed to himself with pride. "These people, they hang on to every word I say." In the next moment, he excitedly affirmed, "As expected, they've fallen for my persuasive speech once again." Ga Yul hid in the crowd, smirking. "As expected, they're caught again. My persuasive ancient spell works." When I got it from the random fragment, I was pretty disappointed. The moment he saw it, his face twisted. "What is this?" It was a persuasive ancient spell that boosts the persuasiveness of whoever you're talking to. The effect doesn't apply to targets higher than the spellcaster. Gayul was stunned reading the information. How could a persuasive spell work on creatures that don't talk? While covered in mud from fighting, he found a way out, but had already figured out how to use it properly. Gayul turned to look at the people attacking the monsters. Good, one down. Pin them down to stop them from moving. He quickly shouted for everyone to hear, "Hey everyone, that woman over there is in danger. Leave those goblins and help her." The fighters were startled. Huh? Okay, coming. Let's help her first. While everyone rushed away, Gayul quietly approached the monsters with a knife. I keep doing this to snatch up the nearly dead goblins and easily killed 100. He thought about this, feeling proud. If I'm lucky, I'll easily become the district representative. Gayul stood amidst the people, voicing his opinion. Everyone, we should pick candidates first. Let's narrow it down to about 5 choices to make voting easier. Hay commented. Not a bad idea, One Sick agreed. Makes sense, or else we'll get nowhere if we keep asking everyone to vote for themselves. Gayul continued guiding. Then let's reduce the choices first. If you want to nominate someone, raise your hand and point them out. Namgil quickly raised his hand to claim the right, but Gayul reminded him. Of course you can't nominate yourself, or it'll just be the same again. The guy frowned and lowered his hand, clearly unhappy. The people around immediately buzzed. He's right. There's no other way. Gayul felt very pleased by this. It's really easy to persuade these lowly ones. The crowd fell into thought. But who to nominate now? I don't know anyone. I don't want anyone but me to be the representative. Gayul smiled calmly but was deep in thought. Just as expected, it's quiet. Only those who stand out are likely to be nominated now. After a while, Jihu raised his hand and decided, I want to nominate Mint Chocolate Boy. Gayul was excited. Right on target. He raised his hand to explain. After all, the representative should be someone rational and capable of leadership. Gayul turned, pretending to ask, Me? Jihu nodded in agreement. Yes, you're managing things well, right? You agree too, right? Gayul felt smug inside. Another fool. He raised his voice to the crowd. Thanks for holding me in such high esteem. Is there anyone didn't finish as someone interrupted? I want to nominate Black Horse. Gayul nodded, thinking makes sense. How could someone who ranked first in the last round not be nominated? Others immediately raised their hands to vote. Then I want to nominate the person who ranked second in the last round. Life's a documentary. I want to nominate the third, Black Dragon on the right arm. Gayul was satisfied, leading them. So, we have 4 candidates. One more. Is there anyone else? When no one answered, he clapped and concluded, then we'll go with 4 people. Before voting, each one can make a speech. He naturally pointed to himself first. I'll go first. But thought inside, persuading these wretched ones is child's play. He confidently began his speech. If I become the district representative, I will, but was interrupted. Stop with the nonsense already. Gayul was startled and turned to look where the sound came from. It was him. Gayul quickly recognized the person. Life's a documentary, the second place in the area. Life's a documentary. Jung-sik impatiently snarled. I don't want to hear the crap you're spewing anymore. Gayul asked, perplexed. What are you doing? Jung-sik suddenly called, Mint Chocolate Boy. He smirked, mocking. You think the world is simple, huh? Everyone will just do what you say? Gayul was frightened by his words. What? Did he discover my skill? No way. He's probably just guessing. Jung-sik scowled, threatening, Who do you think you are to decide who becomes the district representative? You worthless instigator. Gayul tried to stay calm, responding, You've crossed a line. There's a saying that words reflect one's face and character. Is there a need for such insulting language? He reassured himself inside. It should be fine. But Jung-sik bluntly cut his thoughts off. This guy. He strained and shouted, Do you dare lecture me? Tired of breathing, huh? Gayul gritted his teeth, worried. The skill didn't work on him? Don't tell me no way. Jung-sik pointed to the people arrogantly. You idiots, forget about the candidates and just vote for me, or I'll kill you all, okay? Gayul spoke up helplessly. He was truly beyond saving. He tried to salvage the situation. Did he think people would listen to him speaking like that? Stop humiliating yourself and step back. Jung-sik's face immediately turned dark hearing these words. The next moment, he swung a knife straight through him, causing blood to spray everywhere. Gayul froze for a moment. The pain slowly seeped into his body. He quickly felt tortured both inside and out. His eyes rolled back. Jung-sik sneered. I told you, mess with me, and you die. Gayul was in so much pain, he couldn't breathe or say a word. He quickly lay sprawled on the ground. Jung-sik took control. If you don't vote for me, you might as well dig your own grave. People around were immediately frightened. He's dead. That guy killed the Mint Chocolate Boy. Crazy. A murderer. Fresh blood stained the sharp knife, dripping onto the ground. Jung-sik arrogantly waved his knife. So what? Anyone else got something to say? Jihu pointed and cursed. You lunatic. You must be insane. Jung-sik heard these words and immediately grinned wickedly. If you won't come here, I'll come to get you. After that, a bloody massacre began. Wherever Jung-sik went, people fell. He was satisfied. It's great. No police, no snitches, no cameras. The thrill surged through him, driving him to take more lives. I can kill recklessly. In the end, he threatened the survivors. If you don't vote for me, you'll be next. Got it? After witnessing the massacre, the crowd quickly complied. No one dared to oppose. Jung-sik smirked excitedly because they're afraid of being killed. They'll vote for me, and just like that, I'll become the district representative. Another idea came to him. Black Dog, I'll kill that troublesome bastard first. If I kill him, I'll become #1. Numerous notifications rang out. Defeated Knoll, 265 lives over 100. All stats increased by 100% thanks to the Butcher rune. Triple experience buff applied. You leveled up. Ryu Min was stunned. Did I just reach level 16? He looked at the pile of dead monsters thoughtfully. The higher the level, the slower the leveling up. Even after killing over 200 monsters in 2 hours, I only leveled up 6 times. Ryu Min thought seriously. On the positive side, hunting monsters became easier. Clearly because I possess both the Death Rune and the Butcher Rune. He frowned in thought. Doubling weapon damage doubles stats. Ryu Min held his weapon and said to himself, it's time. He quickly retrieved his weapon. It's time to leave. A surge of power enveloped him. Finally, the time to vote arrived. The people who were knocked out are now rapidly recovering. In just a minute, they're all back to normal, much to everyone's surprise. Everyone is startled. What is this? All the survivors are shocked. The fallen players. What's going on here? Aaron covers her mouth and exclaims, don't tell me. Did that person kill them all from behind? Ryu Min thinks, it seems like Jung-sik is in charge again. He looks at Jung-sik's detestable face, frustrated. Jung-sik leads his own gang and is the second strongest warrior in his district. How awful, his personality is pure trash. Ryu Min tells himself, it's best to defuse the bomb before it explodes. Thinking of this, his face falls, but now is not the time. Jung-sik quickly spots him in the crowd and approaches, hey, Black Dog, where have you been? I've been waiting for you. Ryu Min cautiously asks, what do you want? He hesitates. What do you want? Nothing. I just want to ask you something. Jung-sik smirks and proposes, let's get straight to the point, join me. Ryu Min calmly asks, join you. Jung-sik spins a knife in his hand, threatening him. I'll spare you if you do. Hearing this, Ryu Min suddenly laughs, making him frown in irritation. Ryu Min remains calm and plainly says, so, do you want to fight now? He smiles arrogantly, begging, and I'll spare you. Jung-sik feels humiliated and is furious. Geez, look at this crazy guy. It seems you still don't understand the situation. He advises despite everything. If I become the representative... Ryu Min interrupts. Did you have trouble understanding me? He extends his hand to summon a weapon, his voice turning cold. Or maybe you'd prefer to die here. A scythe immediately appears in his hand, emitting an overwhelming killing intent. Jung-sik is stunned, thinking, what's that? Where did he get that weapon? Damn it, I've messed with the wrong person. Ryu Min sees his reaction and deliberately asks, what's wrong, cat got your tongue? Jung-sik is angry but grits his teeth silently, not as arrogant as before. He stubbornly replies, hey, I'm Jung-sik, the leader of my gang. Do you think I'd kneel before someone like you? Jung-sik grips his knife tightly and yells, grab that weapon and come on. Ryu Min chuckles silently thinking, he's as irritable as always. Enough joking. He carefully calculates, if I show my power and get voted, things will get complicated. Ryu Min mentally charts a path. I have to make Jung-sik the representative to use him in the 3rd round. Plus, he frowns seriously. The angel is about to appear too. Just then, Felicity appears with a bright halo. Have you all gathered, humans? Ryu Min mutters, you're lucky. He retracts his weapon and advises, next time, remember to check who you're challenging if you don't want to meet your maker. With that, he turns and leaves Jung-sik still bewildered. Jung-sik's relief shows, damn it, almost had a heart attack. This time I'll let it go. Just wait, if I become the representative, I'll make him pay for the insult 100-fold. Felicity smiles gently and asks, have you selected your representative yet? She laughs mockingly. I see. It seems in the last 3 hours. You haven't just talked nonsense, of course. If you useless lot die, I won't care. Felicity gestures, shall we start the voting now? A board immediately appears before them. The vote for the representative officially begins. You get 1 vote, and the player with the most votes will become the representative. Look at who you want to vote for and think vote. Ryu Min reads the rules seriously. Players who don't finish voting in 5 minutes will be eliminated and disappear. The 5-minute countdown starts now. At this moment, the crowd simultaneously looks toward the center. Look at who they want to vote for. So, Jung-sik crossed his arms, feeling proud, just as he thought everyone was looking at him. Suddenly, he glanced over to one side, astonished. Jung-sik pointed straight at a girl, making her jump in surprise. "Hey, you chubby dumpling," he yelled at her. "Do you want to die? Why aren't you looking at me?" "No, I already voted for you," Jung-sik quickly threatened. "If you don't look at me, consider yourself doomed." Who just turned their head? 5 minutes later, Felicity turned and announced, "Time's up. Luckily, you foolish humans managed to finish voting." She clapped her hands, leading them. "Let's tally up the votes, shall we?" The results appeared before them. Area Representative Election Results. 1. Life is a Documentary, 2,412 votes. 2. Black Dog, Ninus 2,077 votes. 3. Black Dragon in My Right Hand, 249 votes. 4. Chubby Dumpling, 6 votes. 5. Cute Little Bird, 5 votes. Jung-sik gritted his teeth in anger. "I came in first, but only got 2,412 votes? And Black Dog is second?" He scanned the room with fierce eyes. "Those bastards, I told them only to vote for me, and they voted for Black Dog too?" Felicity quickly decided. The results are in. Life is a Documentary is the area representative. She smiled and said, "I will give you commands so you can issue orders to everyone. You have become the area representative. You will be granted command." Jung-sik smirked victoriously. "You'll regret not killing me, Black Dog. If I command everyone to kill him." Right then, he noticed something suddenly. Jung-sik stared at the information screen, hesitating. "What is this?" "Temporary skill, command effect. You can order players and control them. Players cannot resist your orders under any situation. Usage limit, 10 times. You can only command one player at a time. This skill doesn't apply to A-rank players, only 10 times?" He was shocked. "And it's not effective on A-rank people? So all A-rank can ignore my orders?" Felicity cunningly covered her mouth and said, "Now, dear humans, you thought the voting was over, didn't you?" She flew up and teased, "That's not it. This round has an extra hidden task." Everyone buzzed. "What do you mean, a hidden task?" Everything was quickly revealed. Round 2 bonus mission. Level up before the vote. Level up to a rank and find an upgrade item. You will receive a 50% discount on today's items if successful. After reading, everyone was anxious. "What is this? An upgrade item? Level up to a rank?" Felicity laughed and asked, "The mission window was set to appear at level 10. But you didn't notice, did you?" A player scratched his head confused. "How can we level up without monsters?" Hearing this, Felicity's face darkened immediately. "What do you mean? The forest is full of monsters." She reminded them, bored. "Don't be too gloomy about it. Only 80,000 people can level up to a rank in this round." Felicity suddenly raised her voice. "By the way, someone in this area has already leveled up to a rank." Everyone was curious. "Someone leveled up already? Who is it?" She snapped her fingers teasingly. "Let's check the results of the bonus mission and find out who it is." The results screen quickly appeared, showing bonus mission results in round 2 across all areas. The first person to level up is Black Dog. Immediately, everyone looked at him skeptically. "He's the first one in this area to level up?" They were shocked. "Moreover, he's even a Reaper?" The people around him immediately gathered, curious. "Reaper? What kind of occupation is that? It sounds powerful. Is that why he's carrying such a big scythe everywhere?" Jung-sik was frustrated with these developments, thinking, "Damn it, I was about to use authority to make Black Cow counterattack him, but who knew Black Cow would change occupations right now?" Felicity excitedly pointed at the notification board. In round 2, rankings have been rewarded in order of completing the side quests. She looked at the system board, pondering. "So, the one who changed occupation in our area is player Black Cow." Felicity looked directly at him and asked, "You not only claimed the top position in the current area, but also led the overall rankings?" She raised her voice joyously. "Impressive, Black Cow. Your Reaper occupation is unique, and even your nickname matches it. Tell me, how did you come up with that nickname?" At this point, her voice lowered with a hint of mystery. "Did you already know you would get the Reaper occupation?" Rumin calmly replied, "I had no idea I would receive an occupation that matches my nickname." Felicity responded, "So maybe becoming a Reaper was destiny?" He briefly answered, "Yes," as the people around them kept glancing up and down, observing them. Ryu Min slightly smiled, thinking, "Even the angels don't know how to get the Reaper occupation. They only know it's a special one." Felicity giggled, covering her mouth. "Is this destiny? How interesting." She looked at him with bright, mischievous eyes. "So in this area, you're the only one who won't be affected by authority, right?" The crowd nearby heard this and curiously asked, "He won't be affected by authority? What does that mean, Angel?" Felicity cheerfully explained, "While we're talking about this, let me clarify. Authority does not apply to humans with occupations, so the area representative can't command Black Cow to do as they wish. That's how things are. She added, plus, there are only 10 opportunities to use authority. So, just because someone is an area representative doesn't mean they have unlimited power. They quickly realized, only 10 times? Is that how it works? Jung-sik grew more furious, thinking, damn it, that damn angel shouldn't have told them that. Felicity waved to signal, we should reward Black Cow, the first to obtain an occupation, shouldn't we? With that, she quickly snapped her fingers to give the command. The system notifications began popping up for him. You received the first place reward in the current area. Choose the low-level rare armor. You received the first place reward in all areas. Choose the special reward. It displayed options and instructed. There are 3 main items: a medieval warrior's metal armor, a professional hunter's leather armor, and a breathable mage's cloak. Ryu Min decisively chose the professional hunter's leather armor without hesitation. The first choice was too heavy, and the third had almost no defense at all. The system continued presenting rewards and asked for selection. There are 3 main options: an EXP X3 effect for round 3, 3,000 gold, or information about round 3. At this point, Ryu Min thought deeply, since round 3 has a lot of monsters, I definitely need the X3 experience. After thinking, he quickly chose the EXP X3 effect. Felicity lengthened her announcement. All right, the rewards have been distributed. She informed the players, everyone can go back now. Next round, round 3. At this point, she intentionally teased, it will be very interesting. Felicity looked at them with a hint of mystery. I assure you, summarizing the results of round 2, souls will soon be transferred back to their bodies in the existing dimension on March 1st, 2023. We'll see you in the next round. Congratulations on surviving. Young Min suddenly awoke after a terrifying experience. He looked at his intact hands, still feeling the aftershock. Yang Min touched all over his body, relieved, thinking, my hands are still intact, just as I thought. As long as I don't die, I'll return to my intact body. Thinking about it made his face pale again. I'll never mess with Black Cow again. Never. Damn it, I don't want anything to do with such an unfeeling person anymore. Meanwhile, Sang Chul stood upright, speaking to Arin. You went through a lot, Arin. She replied bashfully. I didn't do anything. You're the one who took it all. Arin smiled sincerely, saying, thank you for protecting me. Sang Chul awkwardly replied, I'm your manager and bodyguard, so it's only natural. Arin suddenly remembered and asked, and I also want to thank Black Cow again. Is there any way? Sang Chul gestured helplessly, explaining, we don't know his real face, so we can't find him. It seems Black Cow doesn't want his identity revealed. Arin wondered. He doesn't want it known? Sang Chul quickly realized her meaning. Did I ask him for his account number to compensate him? However, seeing how he immediately refused, he hesitated and told the truth. Black Cow knows that using an account number could reveal his real identity. Sang Chul saw her looking down and smiled, suggesting if she wanted to thank him, why not wait until the next round and give him a gift? Arin thought about it and said, that's a good idea. I should think of a proper way to repay him. He ended the conversation by saying, then you should rest today. See you tomorrow. She politely responded, yes, goodbye. While Sang Chul was in the elevator, he suddenly received a call. He quickly answered, Chairman Ma. The voice on the other end replied instantly, Director of the Security Department, Sung Chul. Sang Chul asked quietly, aren't you asleep yet? Kyung Lok explained, I just got back and had a little whiskey. He politely continued, I've seen the summary results, Chairman. Congratulations on changing your occupation to Dark Knight. The other side quickly replied, there's nothing to congratulate. Did anything happen on your end? Sang Chul whispered his report. Seo Arin and I only reached level 8. Meanwhile, we got injured and couldn't hunt anymore. The other person was surprised. Injured, he went down to the parking garage, carefully checking his surroundings while talking. Actually, I was going to report this incident to you. Are you available? Gyung Lok stayed silent, listening. Is this related to the Black Peel? He stood by, looking through the skylight, and suggested over the phone, come to the hotel and tell me in person. Sang Chul quickly complied, yes, I'll be there in 20 minutes. He moved to his car, completely unaware that someone had been observing him. The car left the parking lot, and the shadow observing him watched it go. Rumin stood at a distance, thinking, just as I thought, he's heading to Ma Gyung Lok's place. 10 minutes earlier, Ryu Min exited the game and immediately checked the system board. The system prompted, please think of the person you want to locate and say their name. Ryu Min quickly entered the information, and Sang Chul. The system got to work, matched with name and face, tracking target's location. It displayed the result, location found, distance is 9 meters. Ryu Min was surprised, he's quite close, still on the upper floor of the penthouse. The position on the system gradually increased, catching his attention. Ryu Min thought seriously, the position is changing? He quickly realized, changing this fast means he's using the elevator. What's he doing this early? Thinking about it, a thought came to him. Maybe he's going to Ma Gyung-lok's place. Ryu Min immediately put on a jacket to head out. Let's confirm it first. Currently, Ryu Min felt satisfied with himself. Glad I looked into him right away after coming back. At the grand skyscraper, Gyung-lok enjoyed the scenery, with darkness cloaking the moon. He felt excited, thinking to himself, tonight is a perfect night to track someone. Gyung-lok turned contemplative. For now, I'll endure and listen to the report first. He settled into a sofa, thinking about the information on the black peel. Which player doesn't know him, who got first place in both the first and second rounds? Gyung-lok tapped the table impatiently at each beat. Something about the first place doesn't give me a good feeling. A question suddenly popped into his head. Could he have had a run-in with my subordinates? He worriedly rubbed his hand. If that's the case, there's no way I can just stand by. Messing with my right hand is like a challenge to me. His eyes gleamed with malice. I won't let anyone stand in my way, no matter who it is, even if they're in first place. While enjoying his drink, a knock on the door caught his attention. Sang Chul politely asked, "Are you inside, Mr. Chairman?" It's Sang Chul. He quickly answered, "Yes, come in." Gyung-lok stood up to greet him. "Unit Chief An, nice to see you again." He replied respectfully, "Same here, Mr. Chairman." Sang Chul nodded happily. "It's all thanks to you, sir," he modestly responded. "I didn't do anything. We're not even in the same area." Sang Chul slightly bowed to show respect. "Just having you here fills me with enthusiasm." "Thank you, sir. You're good at flattering, Unit Chief An. Please sit." He sincerely said, "It's not flattery, it's the truth. Though it's a bit late, congrats on surviving." Gyung-lok found it amusing. Surviving what? The second round felt like a child's game. Sang Chul continued politely, "I also want to congratulate you on leveling up." He denied again, "I was just lucky." He flattered, "They say luck is a skill too. Besides, being second and third in all areas isn't easy." Sang Chul said so much that Gyung-lok softened. "It's my greatest honor to serve someone like you, Mr. Chairman." He put down his drink and confessed, "Hearing you praise me to the skies, I guess you want something from me." Gyung-lok leaned forward and asked, "Tell me? Do you have a question for me?" Sang Chul hesitated and carefully asked, "If so, can you tell me where to find the leveling item?" Gyung-lok calmly replied, "No big deal. It dropped while I was hunting monsters." As he said this, he thought to himself, "Actually, it's all thanks to that random ancient rune, the Dark Knight rune, that I got." In the game, he stood among the crowd listening to Felicity say, "Lastly, open your item storage and look inside. I have a gift for you." After separating, he quickly opened his item storage and received the item. The Dark Knight rune boosts all stats and covers your weapon in a dark aura, which can damage enemies. You automatically become a Dark Knight special class when you reach level 10. Gyung-lok was amazed. Dark Knight rune. He looked at the surging dark power and wondered, can I become a Dark Knight at level 10? Gyung-lok was still deep in thought. I got lucky in the first round when my random rune was almost a cheat item, but still. He smiled and thought, even with subordinates I trust like family, I can't reveal all the information. Anyone can change in an instant. That's human nature. Finally, he spoke to continue the conversation. "Unit Chief An, let's get back to the main topic. Who hurt you?" He asked silently, "Was it Hoiko?" Sang Chul hurriedly waved his hands, denying, "No, it wasn't. Actually, he saved me." Gyung-lok was surprised. "Saved you? Tell me the details." After hearing the story, Gyung-lok still found it hard to believe. "So you almost died because some thugs targeted actress Seo?" Sang Chul nodded. "Yes, if Huiko hadn't appeared, we both could have died." He seriously admitted, Miss Aaron might have survived, but she would have suffered psychological trauma and couldn't continue working in the entertainment industry. Ga Yong-lok pondered this information. "I almost lost a valuable subordinate and my business." He placed his drink down and asked, "What happened to those guys? Are they dead?" Even though Huko gave them more pain than death, he didn't kill them. Gyong-lok wondered, "Why is that?" Sang Chul slowly explained why. He said killing them wouldn't help. If the total number of people decreases, the number of survivors in the round also decreases. Gyung-lok acknowledged, he's not wrong, but who knows what they'll do in the future? He frowned and thought, thanks to Heiko, my subordinate and belongings are intact. I seem to owe him this time. Gyung-lok suggested, I should compensate him. Sang Chul agreed. I mentioned this, but he said it wasn't necessary and left right away. He was puzzled. He refused compensation. Does he fear his identity being exposed? He's cautious too. Gyung-lok stood up and reminded, if you meet him in the next round, thank him for me. I'm truly grateful he saved the two of you. Sang Chul nodded. I will definitely tell him, Mr. Chairman. Gyung-lok continued. Also, keep an eye on him and see if there's anything we can help with. You know I don't like owing people. Sang Chul bowed politely. Of course, I'll follow your instructions. He added, I forgot to ask one more important thing. Gyung-lok glanced sharply. Those thugs, what are their nicknames? Ryu Min hid behind a tree, looking at the apartment. He observed and thought, such a loyal dog, going straight to Gyeonglok right after returning to reality, even this late at night. He quickly caught a taxi to head home, knowing that the celebrity sponsored by Gyeonglok lived in the same apartment complex as him. He thought he should thank his brother. Ryu Min felt relieved as he remembered if they hadn't gone to give rice cakes to their neighbors. He recalled the scene back then. He wouldn't have met Aaron, and he wouldn't have known about the connection between Sang-chol and Aaron. Ryu Min got into the car with many thoughts. If I use the excuse of being neighbors as leverage, it'll be easier to gain Gyeonglok's trust. But I still need to decide whether to bring Gyeonglok along to the 20th round or not. Ryu Min was troubled. Gyeonglok's Dark Knight runes were so good, it was like cheating. However, there were disadvantages, like no level-up bonus runes and being forced to become a Dark Knight. But the biggest drawback was, to use Dark Halo, a power of the Dark Knight, he needed to accumulate a special type of mana called Dark Mana, which couldn't be obtained through normal means. Ryu Min realized the danger of the situation. In a way, this skill suited someone with twisted tastes like Gyeonglok. Thinking about it made him feel powerless inside. Teaming up with someone like that is dangerous. Sitting in the taxi, he analyzed the situation, deciding to temporarily consider him as a candidate he could use in any way needed. Ryu Min suddenly remembered a girl. Besides him, so many talented people were around. He made up his mind. As soon as the sun rises, he should get to work immediately. The next morning, at the convenience store, Sang-uk stood at the counter, complaining. What should I do now? He groaned in frustration. At this rate, the revenue will be cut in half. Right then, Julie popped her head in with a smile. Dad. Sang-ok tried to force a smile and answered, Hello, dear. Julie asked him, Why are you sighing so much, Dad? He sighed and explained, Well, the lottery tickets have been completely stopped. Julie was shocked. Why so suddenly? He replied. The government found some catchy excuse, but they say it's because of the players. He continued. They don't know what skills the players will use. Upon hearing this, Julie started to understand a bit. Sang-uk spoke despairingly. With the rent and labor costs, things are tough now. What should I do, dear? Julie reassured him. Don't worry, Dad. She smiled and encouraged him. I'm about to graduate, and I'll be there to help you from now on. Remembering something, she added, Wait, what if I find a part-time job to increase our family income? He shook his head and said, Julie, leave the money to me. Focus on your studies. Sang-uk asked, Your grades are great. Aren't you planning to go to college? Your dream is to become a doctor. Julie responded, Dad, I've given up on that dream. Given the current situation, school doesn't matter much. Sang-uk bowed his head apologetically. You're right. Right now, money's not what's important. If something bad happens, you could lose your life in the next round. He covered his face anxiously. Lately, all I've been doing is worrying. I'm sorry, Julie. Julie called softly, Dad. She held his calloused hands to comfort him. There's nothing to apologize for, Dad. It's not your fault. He hesitated. But, Julie smiled innocently. It's okay, Dad, I promise. I survived the second round and even got a new job class. Sang-uk asked, A new job class? She put her hand up and used her magic. Yes, just wait a second, Dad. Suddenly, a cool breeze blew over his head. Sang-uk touched his head, confused. What just happened? Julie happily explained. This skill called Blessing is what I got from my support job class. It slightly boosts all stats and is said to increase vitality for normal people. Sang-uk enthusiastically praised. This skill is amazing. I feel full of energy now. Julie giggled and replied, I'll use this skill on you often, Dad. She clenched her hands for encouragement. So cheer up, Dad. Sang-uk happily replied, All right, I will cheer up. Footsteps sounded from outside. Sang-uk quickly greeted, Welcome. Ryu Min entered, sparking curiosity. Who is that customer? Both of their gazes turned towards Ryu Min as he approached, murmuring softly about who the visitor was. Julie leaned close to her father and asked quietly, Do you know him? Her father replied, He's the winner. The winner who guessed the same number with 100 tickets. At that moment, Ryu Min approached them. Ryu Min calmly said, Hello, sir. Do you remember me? I bought 100,000 won worth of lottery tickets. The father paused for a moment and then slowly replied, I still remember. But why are you here? Ryu Min bowed with a very sincere attitude and said first, I want to apologize. Seeing this, the father waved his hand with a puzzled look. Why are you apologizing out of the blue? Ryu Min softly explained, I saw the news. Because I kept winning first place. The shop had to stop selling lottery tickets. He apologized for accidentally causing harm to the shop. Hearing this, Julie quietly looked at him, silently observing. The father chuckled and waved his hand dismissively, saying, Don't worry, it's not your fault. Not selling lottery tickets anymore won't make me starve. Ryu Min still kept a serious face. Even so, I feel bad for affecting you, and that's why. Then he handed over an envelope with sincerity. I want to offer compensation. Even though this amount isn't huge. The father asks suspiciously, "What's this?" Ryu Min calmly replied, "It's 10 million won." Both of them opened their eyes wide, faces full of surprise at that amount. The father quickly declined, "You don't have to do this. Take it back." Ryu Min softly asked him to accept. "Please take it, sir. I really have caused trouble." After saying this, Ryu Min walked away. "I'm off now." The father watched his back and called after him, "Hey, you there." Then the father helplessly rubbed his forehead, looking at the money in front of him. "How can I accept such a large amount?" "Julie." Julie spoke up and took the envelope. "Let me run after him and return it." The father nodded in agreement. "Return it to him." Julie promptly ran after him in the direction he left. She called out loudly to Ryu Min, who was ahead, "Wait a moment." Hearing this, he stopped and turned his head toward the voice. Julie looked up at him and asked, "Ryu Min, is that you?" He asked back, "And you are?" She smiled and introduced herself. "Don't you know me? I'm Min Julie. We're in the same class." Ryu Min looked puzzled. "Same class?" Julie hesitantly said, "Don't tell me you don't know we're classmates." He smiled and replied, "I'm sorry, I'm not good at remembering faces." But in his heart he thought, "Of course, that's a lie." In Ryu Min's mind appeared the information he knew about her. Min Julie, she's in the same class and is the daughter of the convenience store owner. She also has a special profession, a buffer specializing in boosting support effects for her teammates. He recalled the first time he met Julie and learned she was in his class. He was really surprised. It was like such a destiny existed. The reason he used an excuse to meet Min Julie was to bring her to his side. Breaking from his thoughts, Ryu Min returned to the present. At that moment, Julie suggested, "Let's go somewhere to talk." A slight smile crept onto Ryu Min's face, and he nodded in agreement. "Sure." The two walked over and sat on a bench. Julie handed the envelope back to him. "Here, take it back." He looked at her with suspicion. "Isn't this the money I just gave?" She explained, trying to persuade him, "We can't accept such a large amount, so take it back." Ryu Min thought silently. Receiving 10 million won would feel burdensome. He knew they wouldn't take it, as she was the type who didn't like living in debt, no matter how tough things were. Julie laughed and joked, "Hurry, take it back. My hand hurts." Without hesitation, Ryu Min calmly refused. "No," and hearing that, she was momentarily stunned. He slowly explained, "I told you, it's the money I'm giving because I feel guilty. At least doing this lets me feel at ease." Julie instinctively said, "But it's too much money." He firmly stated, "No matter how big it is, I want you to take it. Otherwise, I'll feel guilty and keep thinking about it." She gently declined. "Even so, this amount is too much. It's overwhelming." Ryu Min smiled slightly, thinking to himself, "That's why I'm giving it to you." He quietly put on his backpack, preparing to leave. "Tell your father that to me. It's not a lot of money. Just take it easily," she sighed, feeling helpless. "Are you always this stubborn?" After finishing, Ryu Min stood up. "We've talked, right? I'll leave now." Julie quickly spoke to hold him back. "Wait." She opened the envelope and gently offered, 10 million won is really too much. I'll just take 1 million. Is that okay?" Ryu Min immediately protested, "Do you have the right to decide? Go ask your father." Julie hesitated, "But I'm sure Dad won't be comfortable with this amount." When she spoke, he looked surprised for a moment. "Your dad is the convenience store owner?" She nodded slightly, confirming. "Yes." Ryu Min continued, "I go there a lot, that's interesting." Julie followed up, saying, "I also think it's interesting that the lottery winner is a classmate." Hearing this, his eyes darkened with thought. "Classmate?" Julie pointed to herself, puzzled. "But you really didn't know we were classmates? As soon as you walked into the convenience store, I recognized you." Ryu Min just chuckled lightly. "Sorry, but I'm really not good at remembering faces." He asked, "And this is the first time we've talked like this, right?" She immediately replied to Ryu Min, "Yes." Julie bowed her head, a bit disappointed. "So this is the first time you've heard my name?" He answered, "Sorry about that." Seeing her slightly sulking expression, Ryu Min quietly thought to himself, even though he felt a bit guilty pretending not to know her. Then he gave a faint smile, knowing he needed to do this to pique her interest in him. She reintroduced herself. "I already told you earlier, my name is Min Julie, and we're in the same class." She raised her voice a bit, sounding a bit displeased. "And this is my face, remember it now?" He stepped closer and calmly replied, making Julie's face flush slightly. "I'll remember." She turned her face away, her expression a bit gloomy, thinking, why am I even doing this? Introducing myself to a classmate when we're about to graduate. Ryu Min smirked and said, "At least now I know, after graduation, we won't lose contact, right?" Then Ryu Min made a suggestion, making her a bit embarrassed. "By the way, can I have your number?" She felt a bit awkward and softly asked back, "My number?" He maintained his calmness. "Why not? There's nothing weird about asking a classmate for their number, right?" Julie nodded in agreement, then asked him to hand over his phone. She lowered her eyes to the screen and quickly entered her contact number. After entering it, Julie handed the phone back to Ryu Min. Here, he suggested, meeting like this must be fate. So let's keep in touch from now on. Julie paused, looking surprised, and stammered, okay? After that, Ryu Min turned around and walked away. Well then, I'll be going. I have something urgent to do. She watched his back, her face still blushing. Then suddenly remembering the envelope in her hand, she immediately called out, wait, the envelope. But he just waved, signaling a refusal. Julie mumbled to herself, I still haven't returned it to him. Then she thought to herself, her face turning even redder. It's strange that he asked for my phone number. Oh no, my heart is beating too fast. She lowered her eyes, lost in thought. Even though I know he just sees me as a friend, I like Ryu Min. We accidentally met first. Julie recalled their first encounter when he was surrounded and attacked by a group. You jerk. I told you to bring the money. You think we're joking? At that time, she stood aside and immediately called the police. Police? Did I feel sorry for him? Or because I was the one who called the police, that I felt responsible? I followed him to ensure he got home safely. But seeing Ryu Min work part-time like nothing had happened, I realized then that he was much stronger than he appeared. She remembered the time she quietly watched Ryu Min as he carried stuff. Starting from then, she became interested in him. Julie secretly kept her eyes on Ryu Min, but I didn't have the courage to talk to him. She lost herself in thoughts. Then my feelings for him grew a lot. I didn't even dare to approach him more. Julie closed her eyes, her expression becoming calm. No one would think we'd meet like this here. Now I'm brave. This is a chance from the heavens. She looked down at the envelope in her hand. Considering I can't pretend I don't know him after receiving 10 million won. An unexpected idea popped into Julie's head. Should I ask him out for a meal? Right now, Ryu Min is sitting on his bed, intently looking at the screen. Julie messaged him first, asking if he'd eaten yet and suggesting they meet in Area 1 for lunch so she could talk to him. She offered to treat, but Ryu Min quickly replied offering to pay instead. Julie opposed, saying it felt wrong to freeload like that and asked what he wanted to eat. Ryu Min thought this invitation was a good sign. It seems she feels indebted to him. He thought to himself that if he becomes friends with her naturally, it would be easier to make her an ally. After thinking for a moment, he got up from his bed. He's determined to help Julie reach level 20. As Ryu Min prepared to leave, Ryu Won watched him. Curiously, Ryu Won asked, where are you going? Ryu Min softly replied, meeting a friend. Ryu Won teased, a friend, huh? Not a girlfriend? Ryu Min casually responded, what? Can't I go see some girls? Ryu Min opened the door, reminding Ryu Won before leaving. I'll eat out. Don't skip your meal, okay? Ryu Won replied, got it. Ryu Won silently watched him leave, deep in thought. A thought struck him, making him uneasy. No way, is he going on a date? The scene quickly shifted to a restaurant, and someone asked, do you like steak? Julie sat across from Ryu Min, her cheeks blushing slightly. What? She heard him ask again, do you like steak? After understanding the question, she answered, yes, I really like it. He smiled slightly and said, then eat a lot. Julie quietly observed Ryu Min, thinking to herself, I can't believe I'm having a meal alone with Ryu Min. It's my lucky day. The two fell into silence, with only gentle music filling the restaurant. She glanced around, thinking, it's getting awkward. I need to say something. Come on, be brave. Then Julie spoke up, her voice a bit uneasy. How did you win the lottery continuously, like 4 times in a row? Ryu Min replied calmly, that. It's thanks to dreams from my ancestors. Julie exclaimed in awe, how much did you make from those dreams? Ryu Min answered casually, seems like I won't have to worry about money for the rest of my life, though I still need to worry about staying alive. Julie switched topics. By the way, I'm curious about your first stage. Killing goblins must have been tough, right? Ryu Min replied, yeah, it took quite some time. She curiously asked, which area are you in? Ryu Min lightly gripped his glass, paused, and finally said, I don't remember, only the last number was 5. Julie smiled and continued, my last number was 7. It's a pity we didn't meet. Ryu Min silently thought, no need to be disappointed, my friend. We'll meet soon when the areas merge as survivors decrease. They continued chatting, and she asked, what level are you now? He replied, level 10. She said, I'm level 10 too. Do you have a class yet? Ryu Min answered, not yet. What about you? Talking about it, Julie excitedly shared. Luckily, I got an item to change my class. It's called a buffer. He chuckled and asked, so you can grant buffs to teammates like in games? Ryu Min silently evaluated, fortunate that she's also a buffer this time. Julie offered, want to see? There's a blessing effect that boosts all stats. He nodded. Really? Show me? Suddenly, energy spread from her hand. The system sent a notification. Blessing has boosted all your stats by 50%. Blessing duration 0 to 59:59. Ryu thought, special class indeed, impressive effect. The skill's effect doubles at max level, boosting stats to 100%. Ryu Min's eyes inadvertently stopped on Julie, thinking it's fortunate she buffed him. This was his main goal all along. His reward from the first-class change side quest was a random gold pouch. The luckier you are, the more gold you get, he concluded. Ryu Min slowly said, "Nice effect, thanks, Julie." She smiled brightly. "If you need blessings, just ask. This skill doesn't tire me at all," he calmly replied. "Got it." Ryu Min looked at her. "Didn't you say you had something to tell me?" She remembered. "Right. I meant to say that first." Julie looked at him sincerely. "Thank you so much for the 10 million won. My dad also sends his gratitude." She promised to pay it back soon, no matter what. Ryu Min reassured her with a smile. "Is that all you wanted to say? I told you not to worry about it." Just then, she had an idea. "If you don't need money, maybe there's something else you want." A light suddenly shone from her hand. "Take this," she offered. He looked puzzled. "What's this?" Julie extended it towards him, explaining, "I got it while hunting. If you don't need money, at least take this. It's my token of gratitude, so don't refuse." After a while, they both left the restaurant. Julie waved goodbye. "Great meal. Let's meet again," he replied. "All right, be careful in the next trial." She smiled, agreeing. "Sure, let's both survive to meet again." They both parted ways, each heading in a different direction, with Ryu Min strolling leisurely. He slowly came to a stop, his eyes fixed on the system panel, specifically the inventory. A lot of information appeared on the system interface. Lower grade violet magic crystal. Asset classification, describing a beautiful purple stone that emanates a delicate mana. Simply put, it's a gemstone used for embedding in items to boost stats. Ryu Min couldn't help but marvel as he read. Who would have thought I'd get this from her? He reached out and took the stone. Just by looking at the brief description, it was hard to know its exact use. Ryu Min gently raised it, thinking to himself, once I reach level 20, I'll realize just how rare this item is. He quickly recalled the details about combined features that would unlock when a player reaches level 20. When used, it allows you to combine a weapon with a magic crystal, and you can even choose to upgrade. There are 7 colors of magic crystals in total: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Red is for damage. Orange is for power. Yellow is for luck. Green enhances agility. Blue enhances intelligence. Indigo helps reduce the damage received. After some thought, Ryu Min slowly concluded that the violet magic crystal is the rarest of them all, with a very low appearance rate, and it boosts all stats. A light smile flashed across his face. I'm really lucky to have stumbled upon one. Then, as if remembering something, Ryu Min's expression dimmed a bit. My luck stat in reality is really high, huh? He looked at the system panel, silently calculating. I'll use the magic crystal when I reach level 20. For now, I should open the gold pouch before the buff ends, slowly. Ryu Min quietly speculated. I need to boost my stats with Butcher's runes first. Then he took out a pouch from his bag, containing 100 mealworms. Ryu Min focused, continuously analyzing. The Butcher's rune will increase my stats by 1% for each target I kill, including insects. As long as it's a living creature, it counts. He then dropped the pouch on the ground, since there are no insects in the other world. I'm forced to hunt monsters. Fortunately, I'm currently in reality. Ryu Min firmly stepped on it, mumbling, sorry. Immediately afterwards, the system displayed a barrage of notifications. He glanced at them, thinking, status window. Ryu Min pondered, my 15 luck points have increased to 45 already. It's possible to hope for a favorable result then. A pouch appeared in his hand. Inventory. My luck stat has increased to its highest possible level. After reading all the information, Ryu Min silently thought. Now then. Use it, he thought. Lifting his hand, the pouch immediately floated up. He intently observed, wondering to himself, how much can I earn from this? Even with the same stats, getting different amounts of gold is normal. Ryu Min watched the glowing pouch, quietly speculating. Judging by my past luck, it should be about 3,000 to 6,000 gold. But right after that, his expression turned to surprise.